It'd be funny if, as Rocky says that, I start choking.
And we are live on YouTube in the Asylum and the We Can't Wrestle YouTube. Welcome, everyone. Nate Maxon here with you. And as you can see, I have some esteemed gentlemen with me here this evening.
Who are all eating.
Mr. David Gold, Mr. Archie Mitchell, my brother Aaron, and Mr. Rocky Turner is here with us.
What's up? How's it going, fellas?
Here tonight, we are going to do a watch-along of WrestleMania IX. So before we dive into something else for just a moment, I want to let the viewers know, get your WWE Network going. Get ready to watch WrestleMania IX along with us. And with that, for the moment, I'm going to turn it over to David, Archie, and Rocky.
Wait, Aaron, don't leave. Wait.
What did we say? What did we say? Oh, there you
go. I was going to go do something real quick, and you guys were going to talk about something Nate doesn't want me to hear about. He knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, there it is. That belt in the back. Anyways.
All right, so David, go ahead. Start us off about what's going to be happening on the 16th.
The 16th. What is? No, I'm just kidding. On the 16th at 6 p.m., we are going to have the only person that's sexier than me, Buff the Stuff Bagwell, on, and guys and gals. It's going to be exactly like being able to meet him in person. You're going to be able to get your picture signed. We have 3 really, really beautiful 8x10s. I got some examples here I can show everyone. We got one here where he's flexing, gorgeous signature. We have his Hasbro form, NWO signed.
Brian Tipping Jr., baby.
Made. And that Hasbro is coming to life via Rocky Turner.
I'm working on it, yeah.
I got in the red paint pen, and he'll have these colors, certainly. Him and his NWO, black and white, of course. He's one of the originators, in my humble opinion. So we're going to have Buck live, and you'll be able to talk with him, ask him a couple questions, and just have just kind of meet and greet. Something new we're trying with this shit that's going on. So just make sure you get your reserves in and pre-order so you can be first in line. We've got about 10 guys now that are in, and if this goes well, we can get some more people on. Certainly.
And to add to that, with the pre-orders, and I know Dave was probably going to mention this, pre-orders, the people who get pre-orders get 2 spots in our giveaway for a fully loaded Super NES Mini or Sega Mini. Now, I say Super NES and Sega Mini. They're actually retro flag systems that I build, fully loaded to the gills, 13,000 games, anything you can think of, it's on there.
You got to get me one of those.
Just for getting in line to get a signature from Buff.
Right.
And I think whoever gets that system is just going to be floored, because these things have been cranking them out left and right this past week.
And that's almost a $300-400 system.
Right.
Just so everyone knows. It's not like he's sending you some $20 game system.
No.
He's sending you something he's put his hard time and work into. He's done circuitry, changed the boards out.
I would say you probably, it would take you a good 2 years to come up with the catalog that's in this thing. I mean, it does not miss a beat. It's Atari all the way up to some PS1. I mean, yes, it has N64. Everybody asked me that. It has N64. I said, yes, it does.
So messy, right?
But the controls are off the charts for an N64. I mean, look at that thing. It's nuts. It's hard to emulate that controller, but they do sell USB ones that you can.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
You can configure to play those games better.
4 or 5 of our members in the Asylum and in WCC and in the Nerd Closet have already won these over the last couple of weeks, and they've received them. Yep. And they're raving about these systems.
Yep.
Dan Gleason said he just got his today, and he already started playing it.
There's Dan Barnhart's. It's going out tomorrow.
Yeah. So I mean,
I got Corbs is here, so I'm tempted to play it, but I'm not going to do that. I got Corbs yesterday, so I was like, You think he'll mind if I play it for a little bit?
Maybe you should test it before you send it to him, just to make sure, right?
He'll be like, "Hey, you got my system? It's been a couple weeks." Oh, what system?
But everybody's been asking about this virtual thing because it's a new idea since all this has went down. It's not like it's brand new, but I have seen other companies that like Wizard World and some of the other Comic-Con outfits that are doing the same thing, but theirs is a little bit different. They're charging just to be in the video chat, which, yeah, we're not charging an extra fee for that.
Not only are you getting the signature, we're mailing it to your house. So you're going to get a physical 8x10.
Right.
Sign.
You're going to be watching Buff sign it on.
Then you get to ask a question or two. You'll get 2 to 3 minutes live with Buff. It's not like, hey, get out. We're signing. You can ask a couple questions, and we're not going to be heartless and be like, all right, you're done.
Right. No one's got a timer.
Hey, Buff, I have a couple questions for you. Now they need to be appropriate. Let's not come in and ask some ridiculousness questions, that are off the wall and make no sense, because you'll get jacked out immediately.
But don't worry, Nate and Aaron are going to ask those questions before we go live, and then they'll give you the inside dirt later on after it's all set up.
You'll get jacked out immediately, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Get in on that while you can.
I mean, I think that ultimately the goal is to, I don't know, I feel like I'm giving back to these guys, because think of all the years they've sacrificed their lives, their bodies to entertain us. And now with the way the world is working currently, they can't make their living. Now, granted, some of these guys are going to be fine. They make pretty good money traveling, but some of the lower end guys are not doing so well. So just giving them an opportunity to get in front of some awesome groups and members is a big deal mentally for them as well as financially. I mean, who wants to be loved one second and then dismiss the next because they can't come and see you? So this is the next best thing. We've put this virtual thing together in hopes that we're giving the fans an opportunity to do something cool without leaving their house, without jeopardizing their safety. And also it gives the wrestlers an opportunity to mingle with their fans as well in a safe environment. So it's no different than walking into a con. You pay your $40 to get through the door, which we're not doing.
Right.
Walking up to the table, Buff is sitting at the table. He's like, how you doing? I know you can't shake his hand, but, virtual handshake. He's going to say, how you doing? You guys can chit chat, talk about your favorite moments. Anything you want to ask him. He's going to physically sit there and sign a personal autograph if you want your personal name or whatever on it. He's going to slide that baby into a protective cover, drop it in a box, mail them to us, and we will divvy them out to whoever participates. So it's pretty straightforward. It's not much different than what we're doing right here, right now.
Right. It's Buff Bagwell.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It'd be no different than the sixth man walking into our little chat right here, and it's Buff Bagwell. It's the same thing.
Right.
And you'll be able
the
to.
plus side is you don't have to stand in line with a bunch of smelly bastards.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah,
you could be as smelly as you want right here in your own house.
If you want to be in your tub, hanging out and talking above Bagwell, you can.
Let's keep our pants on here. Let's
now you guys know where I'm going to be when this goes down. I'm going to be in my tub.
Just so you guys know, I've been asked by a couple of people, do I have to go live? No, you do not. You can still buy your signature. You'll still get it. We'll just let Buff know either before, during, or after when we have those free moments. Hey, we need to sign 2 more. This is da-da-da-da-da.
Right. And he'll give a hi to you, or he'll even answer if you want to prepare questions and give them to us. We'll ask them for you. That's not a problem.
You do not have to go live because I know sometimes people don't want to. I get that. So
yeah, some people don't like to be on camera. It's understandable.
Right.
They don't all look like
Here's another quick thing that I talked to Buff earlier today. And I haven't discussed the details with him yet, but he drug out a pair of his nitro-worn boots.
Wow.
Now,
that's big.
That may end up being something big because we may end up using that as an option if somebody, say somebody already has one of my game systems, or somebody just doesn't, it's not into gaming, wants a piece of memorabilia like that, we may put that up as well in the giveaway. So there may be that opportunity. I have to clear it with him first. Obviously, he's.
But look at that. You get a nostalgic day of hanging out with a wrestler.
Yep.
That you might not be able to because of what's going on in the world right now. You're giving back to the wrestling community, which is a big thing because you're a fan and you've watched them for years. And you have a chance to either win a video game, which is more nostalgic because of how many games are on it, or a piece of memorabilia that you wouldn't have a chance at ever.
So we're trying to sweeten the deal as much as possible. I mean,
right.
To be honest with you, I don't see you being able to do that at a con.
No.
You walk through the door, they get your money, and they walk you right out the exit. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah. I met Matt Hardy at a wrestling event about 2 years ago. He signed my autograph. I said, "Hey Matt, congratulations on the new baby," because he just had his second son. And he literally extended his hand. He said, "Thank you very much." And his lady that was with him said, "Okay, go ahead." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you very much." I'm like, he was about to say something, and she just totally blew me off.
Yeah, we don't play that game.
Nope.
Even at the Toy Expo that we had this past March.
Oh no, Buff was NWO and everybody that walked by.
Oh,
I
man.
with everybody.
Between him and Hacksaw, those guys were having a ball. Everybody was really nice. Everybody got to have a personal experience with these guys.
Yep.
And I think it went off without a hitch. So
they did videos for people. They held belts for people. They signed multiple.
That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring that ever so small feeling of closeness to somebody you'd normally not be able to see, especially nowadays.
Right. You know.
So here's the thing. Fans. If this goes well, and maybe even if it doesn't, we'll see.
It will.
But I have another. We have, well, I'm going to say 3. I got 3 more guests possibly lined up for another one of these. So, and you're not going to want to miss them. I guarantee you. We're just going to kind of go in order, maybe every couple weeks, try to do one based on everybody's availability.
Can I give hints? Can I give hints?
If you want.
What a Rush. Everybody's got a price. And a tent hut.
That's a good start.
Everyone got a price. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have him for like a half an hour. So we'll have to
we know who's buying the first 3 hours of that.
Virgil did that much of a demand?
Yeah.
No.
Dave's going to be like, nobody else is allowed to meet him. He's staying with me.
How funny would it be is if the camera comes on, everybody's expecting $1 Million Man, and the camera goes on, there's Virgil sitting there. That poor guy.
Well, he's used to sitting at a table with no one in front.
Yeah, he's like, I've been social distancing since '94.
Hey, come hold this for me. $10.
You know, guys, we owe him like $20 now. We talked about him. We gotta PayPal him $20 now.
I ain't got my wallet.
I know you guys can't see the comments, but so far John Martin has popped in and said hi. Jeremy Cotton also says hi.
I can see him. Just click the live comments tab. We can all see him.
Okay, let me get that up. There's John. What's up, John? Jeremy.
What's up, John? What's up, Jeremy?
We're eating nachos.
You just got to click the live comment tab because there's a private chat one too. So you can, if you click that, it'll show you everyone. It might not.
I'm curious as to who the private chat's for. Like, is somebody going to send us a private? Hey, what are you up to? I mean,
they might not want someone to know what we're saying. They're saying
that's for us.
But I'm excited for this format. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, other than a podcast. I mean, like we're doing now. But I've never seen anybody do any kind of interaction with.
I agree.
With a superstar or a celebrity or whatever until recently, till the world changed. So. Like I said, I think it's a great thing. I don't see any negatives about it at all. I mean, it's your chance to meet one of your childhood superstars and not take the risk of putting yourself in danger. So,
right.
I think it's a good thing.
I agree. And even if you're not, I mean, who doesn't know Buff Bagwell? Who doesn't know the NWO? Who doesn't want the chance
Somebody
to meet
actually
somebody
said
that
that
used
they
to
did not
watch?
know Buff Bagwell today.
How? What are they, 10?
I don't know. I don't know.
That must
I'm
be
just
like a
like
10-year-old child then. I mean, come on.
my old roommate idolized Buff Bagwell. I mean, he even had the freaking haircut and the goatee, and was hitting the gym. And then we'd go out running around in the bars and whatnot, and he'd hit the bar and he'd do the strut and whatever. And I'm just like, oh gosh, we're gonna get beat up tonight. But he loved him. I loved him. I thought he was the most charismatic guy out there. I mean, as far as the NWO, you got a bunch of goons running around walking like ogres, but at least he was a showman. And I hated to see him get hurt.
He was delicious. He was
very delicious. He was. Like I said, I feel that he got kind of
he got shafted.
He got the shaft, really, man. Whenever they bought WCW and started picking and choosing through the roster,
I think Vince already had a preconceived notion.
They already had him.
He was hiring him. They
already had him wrote into the story. They were just like, well,
Right.
This guy's not in it, so he's out.
Right.
Even though he's a great wrestler, this guy, I know he sucks, but his gimmick, we need that for this part.
Right. Right.
But it just what they did,
and not look at the
by putting
camera.
him and Booker T out there and getting booed, that just sucked.
They set them up for failure. How do you give them the main event of Monday Night Raw when the fans were all WWE fans and didn't know who both of these guys were?
They were in fucking Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
Who's a WCW fan in Tacoma, Washington?
And then the next night, where are they at? They're in Atlanta.
Next Monday, they're at Atlanta, Georgia. And then you tell Buff, all right, when you go out to the ring, don't look at the camera.
Right.
And that's his thing. He's like, what are you talking about? So he's like stiff and like looking around. And it's like, what is he supposed to do? Tells him not to look at the camera.
In the most crappiest way, you have your two biggest stars in WWE throw him out of the building. Like, that was class. That was all class, Vince. Nicely done.
That was a slap to the face of their careers.
If you were going to do that to somebody, do it to somebody who really didn't matter, who wasn't a part of the WCW.
Just send me out to the ring instead.
Do it to a guy like Jimmy Wayne Yang or Billy Kidman. Don't do it to.
What you got against Kidman?
I don't have anything against Kidman.
Archie.
Alex Wright, yeah.
Archie.
I mean,
Archie, don't you disgrace the good goddamn name of Jimmy Wang Yang.
Hey, I will make a Jimmy Wang Yang custom. Don't make me make a Jimmy Wang Yang custom and send it to Aaron.
Nate, you want to go ahead and do your cheap pop like you always like to
How's
do?
everybody's connection? Is it kind of getting glitchy?
No, we're good. I actually can
We're
see
good?
us on Asylum. Yeah, we're good.
All right,
Yeah,
cheap
we're
pop,
good.
Nate. Go ahead.
I think the
What am I
wife's
popping?
upstairs. She's doing the same thing I am with a bunch of girls.
Nice.
Let's head upstairs.
She's upset. Like, look, I've got Buff Bagwell the night after they do on the 16th, and we're gonna have.
One of them's looking for a man, and she's got big hooters.
Did we tell you, Rocky, about the second night we went out to eat with Buff, and he was flirting with the waitress?
You mean Rocky wasn't with you?
Not that night. So Buff was really going at it.
Yeah. So you guys watching WrestleMania right now? Is it rolling?
No,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I have it queued up to Gorilla Monsoon.
I'm at 0,0,0,0,0 on my.
Yep, I just skipped the intro if it lets me.
Yeah, I did too. It should. It'll take you like 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So, Nate, you want to do your cheap pop?
We'll skip the intro.
Boom.
So what time stamp are we starting at?
I'm at 2 minutes and 43 seconds. It's just when Gorilla Monsoon talks.
Give me 1 second. My app froze, so I'm opening it back up. All right, there
By
we
the
go.
way, if there was anyone who could have pulled off the toga look, it was Gorilla Monsoon. He looked like he should have been in that time frame.
Really
And I
nice.
love Bobby riding in backwards. That was a good highlight. I'm not gonna lie.
And look,
So what do
it's
I do?
Jim
I gotta-
Ross.
So we're starting.
First.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even got
Yeah.
mine up. I'm in.
Jim Ross, who swears that they threw a toga at him this night and said, "Here, you're wearing this on TV."
What was our?
All right, so where are we going to start now? All right, I got mine up.
What's our timestamp?
So we wanna-
2:43, Archie.
Wait, hold on, let me see. One second.
Everybody, just, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
All
right.
2 minutes. and 43
1993,
seconds.
the
Those
year
of
I
you
graduated.
That
Oh,
are
wow.
with us right now, we are about
I think
to
I gotta
start
restart
watching
mine.
WrestleMania 9. It's essentially here, the Asylum, the We Can't Wrestle podcast, is going to do a watch along of WrestleMania 9. We're just hanging out. There may
So are we
there may be
paused?
people,
Or is
yes,
it going
there
right
may-
now?
no, we're paused. There may
Okay.
be people in and out of here. You guys are just hanging out with us.
I'm
If
logging
one
in
of us
here.
has to go.
You
If
guys
one of us
can-
has to go pee, we're just going to leave and
Yeah,
come back.
definitely.
So I just
What
need to
happened?
get to Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, once you hit skip
Right.
intro, it should go right to Gorilla Monsoon.
It did not on mine.
Oh,
It didn't on mine either, but I'm skipping at 2:43. All right, I'm at 2:43 now.
I had to restart my subscription.
Rocky's like, it's costing me $9.99 a month.
All right, I see Gorilla Monsoon with 2
Beautiful
Roman
women.
gladiators. That's where we'll start. On mine, it's timestamp 36 seconds. Like I don't know. Where
Mine
you're-
is. I don't know why mine is timestamp 243, but
Yeah, well, mine goes to 2:43. They're already riding in on the elephant,
yeah.
okay.
so I need to go back then. Never mind.
My bad. I apologize.
Yeah, you should be sorry, sir.
Oh, you shut up.
So what is the start point?
36
Mine's 20
seconds.
Mine's 23 seconds.
Okay, 20.
Let's go off Nate. This was his idea, so we'll go to 23
Are
seconds.
we live right now or not?
Yeah,
Jesus
Yes,
Christ!
Oh, okay.
We're a mess.
Aaron,
I'm at
Aaron,
20. I'm at
Aaron,
25.
calm down. We're just hanging out here.
This is me calm.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, don't make me come over there.
Just
All right.
click, skip intro, and I'm sure we'll all
Well,
be
Archie's the
kind
one
of
that
in the same.
I'm talking about 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
It's what it said on my screen.
He's like, I'm in the main event right now.
Hey,
That's
when
why
I
I'm-
skip intro, it goes to like camels and shit.
I'm at
Oh, no,
23
wait a
seconds. 23
23
seconds.
seconds.
That's where I'm at
What's
too.
Hulk Hogan?
Jeremy,
What's Hulk
to
Hogan
answer
doing
your
out
question,
here?
we paid $0 to hang with Buff. Buff is an amazing person and hung out with us for hours.
Well, I'll go to 23 seconds, and Archie, you just do the math and cut
No.
back.
Now you're doomed.
Archie,
In fact,
Archie-
Jeremy, Buff
I'm
bought
looking
us
at the
all
crowd right now. I'm looking
Archie
at the
carried
crowd
the
right
4.
now.
And
I'm gonna do Steiner math if you guys ain't careful. I will do Scott Steiner math right now.
Oh, that sucks.
five,
So when we hit-
let's start. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Yep, let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is.
All right.
WrestleMania 9.
Wait,
I'm
why is
gonna-
Hulk Hogan coming out? What's going? No, I'm joking. I'm only kidding.
Caesar's
Spoiler
Palace Live. Is that what everybody's seeing? There's
First
the
of all, what a
crowd.
wasted Macho Man.
There's Gorilla Monsoon.
This is the one David and I disagree on the most. And let me say this before we start. There are 3 things. There are 3 things that I absolutely detest about this WrestleMania, and I will bring them up when they come up.
So how do I bring up the window and watch it at the same time with you guys?
He doesn't. He doesn't want us to get booted off of YouTube. He's scared we'll get a copyright claim if we put it up on here. So we're kind of just
so we
watching it.
We're just watching it on our own devices, Rocky.
All right.
You guys seeing Jim Ross with his Roman gladiator?
Jim Ross with his Roman gladiator.
That's
Pat
what I'm saying.
Patterson
He's-
wishes that was him.
He swore they just threw that toga at him that day and said, "Here, this is what you're wearing," and he was pissed
Yep.
about it. Like he wasn't happy.
Is
that
it
he
me
was
or
making
is
all that
the left
money.
side of his face slumping a little bit?
Well, this is like 2 months before he gets the first attack. I think.
Yeah, he is kind of
Oh,
winking,
Raw?
isn't he?
Yeah,
Did
Or
he have
JR.
a copy then? I thought it was a couple years later.
it's a few months after this he gets his first bout with it.
He had it in both sides of his face too, like my mom.
Now, yeah.
My mom had it in both sides of her face too. My God! So, it's still amazing though. He's still better than anyone today.
Yeah, but he keeps
I have to
freaking
say this.
things. Go
I
ahead.
was standing next to JR and he was talking to Tom Pritchard. And JR isn't the good old boy that everybody thinks
No,
he is.
he's not.
He's quite the character.
Oh, Jim Ross.
He's He's all about hookers and blow. Trust me.
With these gladiators, Pat Patterson was having a field day during this show.
He was backstage like, why couldn't I have been on our talent?
Here's an elephant. Is that Tom Jones on that elephant?
No, that's Anthony and Cleopatra.
Why in the promo with Yoko did Brett look like he farted? He's like,
is anybody else rooting for the elephant to take a massive shit?
yeah,
I'm curious who said to themselves that this was like the best idea for wardrobe. And I mean, why did they all have to be dressed like this? Why couldn't it have just been Caesar and Cleopatra and they could have been normally dressed?
I guarantee that all that.
Because that's Vince McMahon's sense of humor, man.
Yeah.
I do like the look of the show, though. I like the.
But it's the one WrestleMania that Vince isn't present on, so he was
look at the rack on that.
What a waste of Macho Man putting him on announcer.
Well, wasn't this still during the time he was retired?
No,
there was no reason.
This is he had been back and forth on a few occasions on this.
And then the following year they have him wrestle Crush in a no holds barred match or last man standing.
It's a fucking terrible match.
It was bad. 10 is the second worst of this. They had two straight WrestleManias that shit the bed.
Is this Bobby yet?
No, I think this is Randy. This is Randy.
And Bobby's all pissed off.
Cleopatra was pretty stacked, I'll tell you that much.
That's for sure. Indeedly. She's the best.
Oh, look, it's a llama.
Llama face.
Save the drama for your llama.
This is all terrible, by the way. The only good part is Bobby.
He didn't need a toga. He came out in his normal outfit. He was just dressed in white and purple.
This is just terrible. This whole, this is terrible.
Remember, poor Doink is under the ring.
For like the whole damn event?
Right, because it was daytime.
You couldn't figure out how to get him out somehow.
When you kill the lights, I'll come out and hide under the ring. There are no lights.
Nowadays, you can just see them walk from the ring anyways. They don't give a shit. They just walk to the back through them and like, oh, okay.
Had to hide under the ring with the shit bucket.
I bet he is, and he's getting fed grapes and shit. I bet Macho's like, hey, shit, dig it.
Dig it, yeah.
He's like, who needs Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
WCW now.
He always said Elizabeth. There was no TH at the end.
Right. If you will.
Crap. Every time you got to imitate him, you got to put the finger out like you're taking.
Yeah, finger in the hand's always got to be going somewhere.
Now,
here's the thing. I got to call you out on something, Nate Maxson. You say that Kenny Omega does spirit fingers. The Macho Man was the originator of, and I love the Macho Man.
No, Macho Man was fingers.
Say, do not compare Kenny Omega to Macho Man Randy.
I did not compare them. I'm saying if you don't like spirit fingers, Macho Man doing this should bother you just as much.
Am I the only one that really wanted Macho Man to come out and save Brett and win the belt?
There it is.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
There he comes. Here comes the man. Something every I don't know that there's a wrestling fan that doesn't agree on Bobby Heenan. You know what I mean? Like he's
who else would come out backwards? Who else would come out backwards on it?
But still be Bobby Heenan. I mean,
I miss him so much, man.
Yep.
He was the greatest.
Yep.
His Hall of Fame speech is the best one ever, too.
Yep.
He comes back and he's like, "Hey, are we getting paid for this?" No. I'm drinking.
They're all cheering for him, and he's like, "You want to offend me with cash? Just put some on the carpet."
He's like, "Right on the road, man," and he's like, "I can't last more than a week because he was on the road with Ric Flair."
So
when he mentions his wife, and the crowd pops, and then he goes, "No, you haven't had the meatloaf."
So about 3 years ago,
sitting in your room in your underwear watching the Golden Girls all day.
About 3 years ago, we get word that my granddad is basically on his last couple of days, and I'm devastated. And then all of a sudden, the news goes up that Ric Flair is in the hospital and on his deathbed as well. And I look at my wife and I say, if I lose my granddad and Ric Flair in the same day, I'm going mental. She laughed, of course, because I was just being overdramatic, but it was my way of coping. So now, my granddad dies September 19th. Less than 12 hours later, the news, Bobby the Brain Heenan has passed away. I'm like, fuck, that's just as bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It was
terrible.
Which is worse, your grandfather or Bobby? You're like, I'll get back to you.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, my grandfather, but still.
But still.
Look at Heenan out here busting balls.
The best part was just underwear showing and shit. That made it right there. He's like pushing his Hogan and shit. Screaming at Macho Man. This is the only highlight of this entire WrestleMania.
My favorite
Oh, for
Bobby
God's
Heenan
sake,
moment. My favorite Bobby Heenan moment is when Hogan comes out to be revealed as the third man, and Bobby says, because everybody swears he ruined it, when Bobby says, "Well, what if he's with them?" And
Whose side's he on?
It wasn't Bobby ruining it. He was just stating an opinion because he hated.
And my
so
thing
much.
is, my thing is, Bobby Heenan, his character doesn't trust Hulk Hogan.
Right.
You know,
He
like
never liked Hulk
Bobby
Hogan.
Heenan.
I love it.
Bobby Heenan was great because the whole time, like when at first, like Hogan first turned and everything, he was just like, "I've been telling you this guy was a piece of shit
Right, he never
for
said-
10 years."
He never tried to agree with Hogan after that. Like, oh, he's a heel too now. I could be friends with him. No, he still hated Hulk
He
Hogan.
was like, "This guy I've told you for 10 years is a piece of shit."
When you saw that promo the first time, you're like, this is gold. But then when you go back and watch it, you cringe when he goes, "The New World Organization, brother." You're like, no.
Right? No. You know, he could have killed it right then and there when he said that.
I forgot DDP brought Shawn Michaels out at
I was
WrestleMania
going to
9.
say Shawn Michaels and Luna Vachon with their matching
I forgot
haircuts.
she was with him.
Luna played that character fucking perfectly. She was just.
Oh yeah, I was just making fun of the mullet.
This is the only good match on the entire card.
No, it's not. Wrong.
No.
However,
The Headshrinkers and the Steiner Brothers is fantastic.
Oh, it's all right.
After he dumped Sherry, or Sherry dumped him because of hitting her with the mirror and whatnot, Luna was the perfect replacement because of how edgy he was trying to be. It was a perfect match at this point.
And then Bobby loves him some Luna, always complimenting her the entire match.
yeah.
Meanwhile, she was the ugliest thing in the
Look at her.
world.
Did he say like she was like Miss
So-
Wisconsin or something?
Oh, here we go.
Did he?
So
Yeah, I
this
think
show-
he was
this
like
show
she
is-
won Miss Wisconsin. Comes to
Apparently, a lot
Canada.
of Native Americans hated Tatanka's theme song, by the way.
This show is also where from this moment on, I always called Howard Finkel Finkus Maximus.
Mm-hmm.
I love Finkus Maximus.
It made sense.
They pretty much
And here
treated
comes Sherry.
Tatanka just like they did the real Native Americans.
Remember what WrestleMania was that when he had the hair?
They paid him in beads.
Not only is he a client, he's Howard Finkel, and Finkel has on the hairpiece. Ladies and gentlemen.
The best work Tatanka ever did was when he turned heel.
Yeah, but me and Aaron talked about this during an episode of We Can't Wrestle podcast. He shouldn't have been Tatanka anymore.
He should have
Nope,
just
he was-
became Christopher Chavis. Wore
Yeah.
a suit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That was when he was in the $1 Million Corporation when he went here.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like he became a heel, but he was still just the Native American Tatanka. He should have been.
Didn't
He
he
should
do
have
his face
changed.
differently, though?
Huh?
If I remember correctly, didn't he do his face paint differently?
Yeah, and he put on black tights and he wore different face paint. Big deal.
Yeah, that's about it.
He
You
should
know.
have just been Chris Chavis, wore a suit.
Aaron,
Like,
Aaron
well,
said he
welcome to
should've
my
owned a-
casino.
Yeah, he should have been like, I own casinos now. And it would
Yeah.
have been a perfect storyline.
He should have just shaved his head.
God damn, Sherry's fucking amazing.
Yeah, she really was.
I really do. I really do think that over the years, though, he's becoming Tatanka. I'm talking about has become an underappreciated guy. I thought he was a really good wrestler.
He was a good wrestler.
He's a good wrestler, but his style, what Vince put him in, didn't make him that good.
Well, and I think also by this point in 1993, the Native American gimmick had run its course as far as wrestling goes. You know, it's kind of like
Was he still undefeated in the
American-
style?
yeah, he had the undefeated streak until November of '93. So he came in late '91, undefeated till November of '93.
But his other Indian name was Running Course.
when he was defeated by Ludwig Borga.
Right. Who didn't stay undefeated for as long as Tatanka did, which made no
No.
sense.
Almost as bad as Taka Michinoku's team. Let's just give him the most
Putting the
ridiculous thing
chips
ever.
up.
Sean's attire is great.
Now, is
I
this
love
what the Black Pants Hasbro is supposed to be emulating? Because I don't remember him wearing an outfit like the Hasbro that came out.
No. Well, maybe.
Send your classic Jacks with these pants.
Yeah, they did do a classic Jacks with these pants, yes. No, David, I didn't kill it. I've never made a custom with it.
You can get that for like $5. I wouldn't care if you killed that one.
Oh, okay.
If you kill the one where he comes with all the belts, then I'd kill you.
No, I wouldn't. You know I don't do that.
See, I don't know if we're supposed to do spoilers if people haven't watched this before, but
I'm sure everybody's seen it.
yeah, I just
I would
mean,
hope so.
the placement of this match is what, as I've gotten older, as I've watched this show, bugs me. It's like, to me, it's
It
just a
should have been an
non.
opening match.
It's
You're
a
right.
non finish right at the beginning of the show.
And it shouldn't have been. It should have been more like 4 or 5 matches in. It had no reason to be at the
Yeah.
top of the card.
This is where you could have put Doink and Crush at the beginning.
Right. Or
Yeah, or
that tag team match.
even that Steiner's Head Shrinkers fucking
Hell, I'd put
corner of a match, you know.
RS and MDM at the beginning. I'd be fine with it.
I just
'Cause
think
it-
that a non-finish right at the beginning of your show is a bad idea.
And at this point, Hogan was so stale, and the steroid shit. It didn't matter where you put Hogan at this point.
Right. Right. It wasn't like that was going to main event.
For the most part. I mean, last year you had him against Sid. This year you put him in a tag match.
And I'm not knocking this match. I think this match, these guys have a really, really phenomenal match. It just, like I said, just a non-finish right at the beginning of your show. Just
They were
Wasn't
trying
the,
to get strong, and it didn't work, though, in my opinion.
the Money Inc. Hulk Hogan Brutus match, wasn't that a non-finish too? Didn't that end in a DQ?
It did. They kept the belts.
Yeah, but they DQ'd Hogan and Brutus or
Come
something, right?
on.
It was wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
so-
they threw it in the crowd. They left the briefcase in the ring.
Right. So there was a lot of DQs and non-finishes on this whole show.
That's pretty much almost every match for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, this should have been a 4th or a 5th match. They should have given these guys 30 minutes and let them do their thing.
Plus, at this point in time, the IC belt was very well respected in the second belt in the Federation,
Right.
and normally the stepping stone. So this should have been like maybe in the middle or close to the end of the card.
I agree. It should have been in the middle, and I agree with that it should have been given about 10 more minutes, and you could have taken 10 minutes off of Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez.
and
They
they
didn't need 10 minutes. They could have had 4.
and
You
that
could
might
have
be
Gonzalez and done with it.
that might be wrong too. I don't know, but from everything I've read, honestly, from what just like how shit works out with guys, I've always been under the understanding this wasn't even supposed to be Tatanka. This was supposed to, obviously with Sherry being out there and everything. This was supposed to be Sean, and this was supposed to be Sean and Marty.
But
And Marty had his fucking problems.
Right,
So that
Marty's
might be
not
another
Marty.
reason why they. That might be another reason why they opened with it because it wasn't as hot of an
But
angle.
why punish Sean well?
But
I mean,
what
Sean was
would-
still getting paid.
Y'all might disagree. Y'all might completely disagree with this. I feel like the belt shouldn't have been on the line at all. And I
Right.
feel like this should have been a mixed tag match and got Luna and Sherry involved.
I agree with that. I agree.
I think it should have been a tag match. If you're going to put it as the opening match, take the IC belt out of the equation, and and then Sherry comes out and they're like, "Oh, Sherry's with fucking Tatanka all of a sudden," and then the thing goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's now going to be a mixed tag match." People probably would have been like, "Oh
But
yeah."
they didn't have Teddy Long on the payroll yet, so they couldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Only he could change a singles match into a tag match.
Player. It's going to be a 3-on-2 against the Undertaker.
Did you guys see Tatanka's head crack into Sean's knee when he did that?
Yeah.
Sunset flip, yep.
Do you think most of Luna's hair at this point is all wig and extensions, or is that?
Yeah,
or
she
is
had just
or
a basic
hair?
mohawk, I think. I think that was a basic mohawk with extensions on it.
A
Well,
mullet
yeah, I
extension.
mean, but the fact that it stayed the whole fucking time with what she did.
Well, I mean, they probably had that sewed in tight. If they could have the Divas keep their hair nowadays, imagine what they used to do back then.
How many more months before Sherry joins WCW and starts being Harlem Heat's manager after this?
That is early. No, wait.
Late. if not late 94, early 95.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Late '94. Yeah.
But she wasn't with WWF.
Wait.
longer
Hold on.
after,
Time frame screwed up here. She goes to WCW in late '93 because by mid '94 she's with Flair during the Hogan.
Yeah.
Well, he asked about Harlem Heat.
Oh,
She
right? No, but
debuts-
she went to WCW like a little bit, like a couple months after this, right? This was
Yes. She goes to
Yeah.
WCW with Shane Douglas, ends up in WCW, and it looks like it's either going to be her with Sting or with Flair. She joins Flair, and
Mhm.
so it's like
She
it's
saw
like
the
late
baby's
90s.
arm holding the apple.
Yeah.
like a baby's arm holding an apple. You kiss your mama with that mouth.
It's your mama with this mouth. Oh, Tatanka no selling that shit.
I'm going on a beer run. I'll be back.
Yeah, I got to go find my charger. I just realized my phone is at like nothing. The one I'm watching WrestleMania on.
Bro.
I'll be right back.
I mean, honestly, though, HBK makes this match. Like, he carries Tonka in this match for the most part because of the style they gave to Tonka. HBK carries it.
I think Tatanka's the type of guy that you put him in there with somebody that's, capable. You're going to get a good match out of him. And I mean, I've never seen Tatanka really have a dog match.
Have you seen SmackDown in 2012?
Well, I mean, come on, he's old then, I'm just saying at this point in his career, I just think Chris Chavis was he. I'd say it this way, like to me, at this point, he was like a Savio Vega,
Yeah.
He's the guy you could put in there, and if he wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. It's not going to matter. But you're pretty much guaranteed that you're going to get a passable, entertaining match out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he was hot at this point a little bit. I mean, he was losing some steam here. That's why I turned him heel later, but
Yeah.
To try to save the character. But right here, he's still pretty over. I think they screwed up. I agree with the placement of the match, and like I said, I guess I would have rather this been a mixed tag.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Luna and Sherry really involved in this match, anyways. Might as well just put them in it.
Yeah, and I don't think it would have hurt. I understand they were trying to go with an undefeated thing with him and everything like that, but I don't think it would have hurt him to lose here.
Or even if it was a DQ loss in a mixed tag, but the fact that it's the IC belt on the line, that's what killed this.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, if you were going to elevate HBK, have him go over here. Let him win this match outright.
And they could have even done like a fuck finish for him or something, where let like the 1, 2, 3 happen, and it turned out both their shoulders were down, and Tatanka complains with the ref, and then Sean scoops him up and steals the pin or something like that, because then he's still protected a little bit. I think.
Be right back.
All right.
I wonder how many. I can't see how many viewers we got. Is it just us?
I don't know. I can't see either. The guy that's supposed to be running this thing fucking bounced.
You get more beer.
You get a fridge and have it next to you, like a pro.
He needs like a mini fridge in his little studio thing.
That's what I got. I have a little mini fridge right next to me. If there is anybody coming in, the timestamp I'm at is at 21:30. 21:30.
Yep, that's exact. I'm actually at like 21:25, so we're pretty damn close.
I'm at 21:35.
Well, there you go. That's pretty close.
Oh, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah. All right. You're in the future.
Sweet.
Apparently, Nate is brewing his own beer.
That'll take a while.
Archie went over to meet him. Archie's gonna
He's in the
pop in on
tub.
his camera. What's up, guys?
So I don't know. I think they let this match go a little longer than it should have.
Yeah, with the finish they were gonna have, like I said, this thing just seemed weird. Like I said, when I was a kid, I didn't know nothing. I'm still saying I don't know. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm not a professional wrestler, promoter, or anything like that. I'm just a fan, just like everybody else. But just going with the finish and the length of this match and everything, it's like they did the time to invest somebody into this match, and then it's just there's nothing at the end of it.
Yep.
Well, because they didn't want to make Tatanka look weak, and they certainly didn't want to make Sean look weak. So
when you guys were off doing whatever you guys were doing,
It was kind of weird that we came back at the same time, Archie.
well, I came back once and plugged in my phone, but then I wanted a brownie, so I had to go back and get another one.
They were meeting up. I told you Archie was going to pop up on Nate's screen. Like, what's up, guys?
we were just in the tub. Don't mind us.
Yeah, like,
Little bit of the bubbly.
You guys are in there together. You're gonna need a lot of the bubbly.
So, really quick, because I also hate Busted Open Radio, I'm going to, those of you that listen to the We Can't Wrestle podcast, you know that one of our guests on the show is Chad Austin. It was Chad Austin from ECW fame. He's also going to be on the audio version. I'm going to add the interview we did last night with him on the audio version of this.
Excellent.
Cool. Chad messaged me here. Shit on the Busted Open group page. You got it. Shat upon, Mr. Austin. And he also said, and Joe from North Carolina, he's a mark. So you, Joe from North Carolina, are a mark.
Mark,
wherever that guy is.
Damn, Mark.
And thank you for contributing, Chad. We appreciate it. He's a blast, man. I love that guy.
I used to enjoy seeing him on ECW, and here's the thing. I'm sure, and I don't mean this as a knock to him in any way, his promos were better than the matches that he had because they were always making him lose. Mm-hmm. But when he came out as Stone Cold Chad Austin one night and cut that promo, I was like, wow, he's gold right now.
And he makes reference on the show all the time of himself being a jobber. So he's not.
But Jeffsky said he'll join us in like 15 minutes. So
he's not going to like the fact that you just said jobber. If he's
I know
watching.
he always
no, he's not a jobber.
He always busts my balls when I use that term. He's always like, "Have you ever wrestled?" No, Chad.
I'll be honored to be a jobber. I'm going to lose to everyone. Like Gold, we're going to have you lose to the Brooklyn Brawler tonight.
Sure.
Yes. All right. Do I get to get in the ring? Yep. Do I get to do? What do I get to do? You can do your insurance. You can go. You can be a dick for a little bit. And
business is business. As long as you pay me, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Do whatever you want.
I'll go out there and lose to Alicia Fox. I don't give a shit.
I want Iron Mike Sharp to yell at me.
I mean, I'm like that in life, man. What's happening?
I think John Majewski's here, the Magic Man.
Oh God!
I just see a little white dot.
I don't see a microwave.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just trolling us from wherever he's at.
No, I'd recognize Majewski's white dot anywhere. That's him.
That's him. It's him.
Can you stop mooning us, Magic? Damn it.
All right, guys. What is up?
What's up, John?
Hey, Magic.
What you up to, Magic?
Where we at?
Let's see if everybody can. Let's see if Magic can
25-53.
We always seem to have that problem. Rocky, say hi to Magic.
What's up, John?
What is up, brother? I'm trying to.
Archie.
Base card.
I see a little white dot.
You ever notice like say it for a while and then he catches himself and he goes, "I haven't said that in a while, so I'm going to go."
Base card, right? Right.
I haven't said it.
Tonka's dancing. Tonka's dancing.
I'm pulling it up right now. Clash of the Champions 5, right?
Yes, Clash of the Champions 5. Yes.
All right, pulling it up.
Offense, we had enough with this with Hogan and Warrior. Did we really need another guy hulking up? Like Native American.
He was not hulking up. He was letting his physical powers get to him.
Hulking up.
Yeah. Look, he was hulking up. All right, it's the same damn thing. He just danced.
He's buffaloing, brother. He's buffaloing, brother. He's getting it.
I mean, we had that with Warrior, with Hogan. Did we really need Tatanka doing it too?
All right, boys, give me a timestamp.
Me and David had the most closest one. We're at 20. Go to 27:10.
Yeah, that's about where
Yep,
I'm at.
that's where I am.
All right, I'm there.
Tatanka's coming off the top,
Tatanka.
crossbody.
What a bad crossbody. Damn.
Gorilla's kid with the
Hit him.
2.
Damn, that was Botchamania style crossbody.
He was doing the super kick, but he didn't call it Sweet Chin Music yet, right? It was-
No,
Because
it
he
was
wasn't
just-
even using it as his finisher. His finisher here was a belly to back suplex.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
would put his arm under the leg and lift up.
Yeah.
It didn't even have a name, I don't think. It was just a
It was
belly to
just
back
his finish.
suplex.
Yeah.
And I
It
don't think
looked
they
cool.
called it a super kick. I think they called it a side crescent kick for right at this point in time.
Mm,
I mean, Sean's his suplex was cool looking because I didn't
It
really see a
was.
lot of guys hook the leg like that. But yeah, it didn't have a name or nothing.
Sean's being really charismatic in this match, but he's not a heel enough for me. He's not doing enough heel stuff. Like he should
I
have
think
held the
that's-
tights up there when he pinned Tatanka. He should have held the tights.
I think that's why he had Luna. She was doing enough of the heel shit for him.
I get it, but he should, and he perfected on this as he went along. But
Right.
I love the false finishes in the stretch in this match, though. Very well done.
Cornette hated him probably. God, I hate a fucking false finish.
How do you hate a false finish when one of your closest friends was Dusty Rhodes, who created the false finish?
Cornette hates how many false finishes there are in matches now. We don't need 20
All
fucking
right.
false finishes.
I just realized everybody in this match has some sort of mullet.
Yes, yes.
Like the only way this could be more 93 is if they were all wearing fanny packs.
No.
They probably were earlier in the day.
Well, I know. I was
Right.
just saying, like right now.
Don't you see it?
So one thing, y'all probably already talked about it, but one thing I love is if we watch, even our cameraman is wearing a toga.
Terrible.
Yes.
Sir.
Everybody. Ooh, that was a horrible bump. Yeah, everybody was decked out in Caesar gear in this,
Yeah,
this
you
one.
missed the beginning part, but we were kind of talking about how we hated most of us disliked the placement of this match. We thought it should have been in the middle of the card instead of the beginning, since it is the IC belt and the finish they did of the match. We felt this should not have opened the show. A more appropriate match to open the show would have been Doink and Crush or the Steiners and the
I think it should have been in the pre-show.
Oh shit!
There weren't pre-shows at this time.
There were, but they were called dark matches.
So right
Pop-
there,
Pop-
we
Papa
should have
Shango
seen
was on
Tatanka
that.
as our new Intercontinental Champion, and it doesn't happen.
Nope.
Okay, now see, Gold said Shawn Michaels didn't do enough heel shit. The man pulled the referee out of the ring and pushed him.
No,
You can't get
I'm
more
just-
heel than that.
Trivia. Do you guys know what the dark match of this show was?
Tito and Papa Shango.
Yes, there you go. Nate
Yeah.
knew. Hey, Nate, guess what you win? I'm going to get you a year supply of calendars, buddy.
So Gold,
Damn.
here's something to keep in mind
One
though.
calendar.
When you're a wrestler and you're finding your place on the card, the first place you always want to be is the main event. If you're not the main event, you want to open the show.
Why though?
So this is considered usually the spot card. You want something to get the crowd activated early. You want to get them in tune.
Okay.
You want to get them pumped up. So it's actually not a bad spot to be as a wrestler on a card.
No, we weren't saying it's a
Oh,
bad
no,
spot
no,
for the
no,
wrestler.
no.
What I was getting at was that I didn't like the fact that it was the opening of the show and it didn't have a finish.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
I got you.
Like to me, it just if I would have opened with something that would have had like an actual conclusion.
Tatanka should have scalped him.
It's almost as bad as that finish where they had Sheamus win over Daniel Bryan in like 50 seconds for the world
I
title.
think it was 8. But I agree.
My stream froze up for a second. What's somebody's timestamp?
Damn, Luna destroys Sherry. At this
Nate, 31, go to 31:35.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just buried Sherry right there.
Because they knew she was leaving.
Yeah, but still, fuck, man.
You know,
Maybe.
Vince didn't like when people were leaving.
Nate, you should see Tatanka checking on Sherry.
Okay, I got it.
It would have been funny if Tatanka would have pulled out like a big hatchet and went after Luna and left Sherry on the ground.
Oh, Tatanka
I
probably
want
pulled
that-
out later in the night.
Tatanka's like, I want that mullet. I got that mullet.
So this is still during Tatanka's streak, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
undefeated.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
the reason they went with the DQ thing, because
Right.
they didn't have an out, because like I said, this was supposed to be Marty Jannetty, and they needed to put somebody in there, so they put Tatanka in it, and they were like, fuck it, we don't want to take the belt off Shawn, we don't want Tatanka to lose, so just make it some kind of DQ fuck finish, which is why it should have been in the middle of the card.
Damn, Sherry's
should've-
really selling that injury. I love it.
So
I'm loving what
one
I'm seeing
thing.
coming out of her dress.
Yep. Who's the best? I mean, best.
Here comes Mean Gene.
Doing the Mean Gene, the hype machine. Another one we miss.
Don't
What-
forget to
I
call the
love
hotline.
I love Mean Gene's outtakes. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Hearing
Sorry,
Mean
Smoking and
Gene say,
cussing.
You seen that?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that rib they did where they put like his cryon or whatever, a cryon up there or whatever, and it said Mean, or it said Gene Tiny Dick Okerlund?
Oh wow.
"No, I've never."
Oh yeah, they put that up there. It says Gene Tiny Dick Okerlund.
That's good.
It's fantastic.
Good old Scott Steiner.
This is
So,
when Scott
uh-oh.
Steiner. This is when he was one of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet.
I was gonna say, I still to this day,
Not a very good mathematician, but a good wrestler.
No,
every time
he didn't know English very well either. But fucking Scott at this time was one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
Put him and
pre
Sid.
Papa Pump, I loved Scott Steiner in the ring.
How's he doing, by the way? I know he had surgery, didn't he? Heart surgery?
Yeah, he said he.
Yeah, but he's actually back though. I think he's been he was coming back before all this happened. He was supposed to be on a couple shows.
Yeah, he
Is
said
he,
he was good
is
to
he
go.
still doing NWA?
Yeah, he was.
Nobody's
Anybody
doing
know?
NWA right now.
He
Well,
should do
you
the
know,
right now.
This is my favorite. This is my
This
favorite
match-
match on the entire show.
This match right here has more potatoes than the produce department, but it's a great match.
This is my
Head
favorite
shrinkers
match on the entire show.
Head shrinkers are walking around going, "Look, they're wearing dresses too."
I'm surprised Buff hasn't called.
About what?
Stop name dropping, Rock.
Well, I'm just saying he was supposed to call. He's supposed to drop a promo video for everything.
Apparently, Rick hates wrestling now.
Isn't he like an insurance broker or something like that, or a
Yeah.
realtor?
Principal.
He's in
Yeah.
retail and like he's like on the school board.
They were both
Yeah.
at WrestleCade. I barely recognized Rick.
Now, Rick's son is the up and coming wrestler? Is that correct?
I didn't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Or maybe it's up and coming football player.
Yeah,
Might be a
Rick
football
kid
player.
just got signed. Signed. I think he just got drafted or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Wow. Who did you get drafted by?
I don't watch football.
No, I used to talk about how ripped Scott Steiner got when he was Big Papa Pump, but he was pretty roided up here too. Actually,
Yeah, he wasn't. He was never small. I mean, but he
Right.
did. You
I
know,
never
he grew
noticed how-
bigger.
when you look at him as Big Papa Pump, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
You
just
forgot he was so big here.
right. Everyone remembers Rick as the powerhouse because he was the dog
Right.
face, all that stuff. So that's why.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
he did keep that.
but Scott Steiner was never anything to, never a little man by any means.
I used
Oh, and
to like
actually,
when.
the Frankensteiner at that size is impressive. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah.
Now, what about Rikishi? Rikishi's in pretty good shape. I mean,
small. He's small compared to when he was Rikishi.
Yeah,
I'm not
You'd never realize if you took a non-wrestling fan and showed him this guy and Rikishi side
Or
by
the
side, you'd be
Sultan.
like, that's not the same person.
or the Sultan. Yeah, you're like,
About 100 pounds difference. It looks
Sultan.
like.
The
He looked
wrestling,
even smaller as the
Sultan,
Sultan.
wrestling's- the Sultan was like a wrestling Hershey kiss. That's what I looked at.
Something interesting. Something
Hey,
interesting
sir,
is
Bob Backlund. Two-pack.
something interesting at this time. If you listen to or want to believe things that Bruce Pritchard says, and I don't see why he would lie about it. But at this time, and Vince didn't see it, so that's why it never happened. Scott Steiner was one of the two guys that the NWA/WCW had that guys that were on Bruce's level were interested in as being potential big time. Let's
Yeah.
get these guys. It was him and Dustin, and if you ask Bruce Pritchard or listen to Bruce Pritchard, they thought that Scott Steiner and Dustin Rhodes should have been could have potentially been big time single stars for the company, and Vince
Well,
just
I mean,
didn't see it in either one of them.
You go back to the Clash from January of '91. Scott Steiner has a fantastic match with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Steiner looks pretty good right there, I have to say.
WWF, weren't they there in the late '80s too? The Steiner brothers, or am I wrong?
What's that?
No, they were in the NWA in the late '80s. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
were they in
yeah.
WWF briefly in the late '80s too, or is this their
No.
first?
No, this
They're
was
only
their
10,
debut.
right?
Yeah. Now, see,
Yeah.
to Aaron's point, and to what Nate said, yes, Scott Steiner had a great match with Ric Flair. Flair went back though after, because I've heard shoot interviews with Scott Steiner. Flair went back to like Jim Herd and the guys that were in charge then, and said, "This kid doesn't have it. He's too green and he hurt me in the ring. Don't push him." And that's why when Scott Steiner used to cut promos in the late 2000s about Ric Flair,
Let's fucking look at this.
Oh, here we
Look at
go.
this.
Here we go.
he always shit on him.
The no sell straight into the awesome Steiner move.
When you watch these first two matches, you're thinking, "Hey, this is going to be a pretty good pay-per-view," and then it starts going to shit slope. The rest of it.
Well, it was the 6 youngest guys on the card, David.
Yeah, but then it went from like, "Oh, that first match was good. Steiner is great," and then it goes.
You know.
Later on in here, even Alpha hands out
Look at
haters
Alpha.
later on.
I love the Alpha. I'm gonna give y'all the double headbutt noggin here that this in any match would make you take a bump and go down, but when I do it to y'all, it's gonna pump you up.
I love the colors on Rick's singlet.
You gotta love Samoan logic, Magic.
It's true.
David, I never understood why they gave Rick such a bland singlet for the Hasbro they made of him. Or
Right,
even
they
the
should give him
glue.
this one. It's so
This
colorful.
one or any other one. I mean, Scott
Now
got a
his
pretty decent
UK
outfit.
galoob, his UK that's nice, but his UK galoob is cool. The green with the black.
The green with the black. That's what I'm saying. That was the only good figure they made of him.
His Hasbro's okay.
It's okay, but it's so basic.
My favorite Rick Steiner singlet, and I don't know if he ever had it on a toy or whatever, but I liked the one that always had all the numbers on it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They were in the ring. I liked that one.
Well, see, that was by accident. Scott was doing Steiner math, and he had nowhere else to write, so he went on Rick's singlet.
Even the classic Jack's Rick Steiner singlet was kind of, you know.
That's what I'm saying. They never gave him a good attire.
For Rick, are y'all talking about Rick?
Yeah, because I didn't have a classic Jack's. He was in trouble with WWF at the time.
Yeah.
So we'll be lucky if we ever get another Scott Steiner.
If the NWA comes out with figures, we might get another Scott Steiner.
Or if he happens to go to fucking TNA, AEW, maybe. But
I don't think he'll go to AEW.
Oh,
that's
look at
like
that.
fucking phenomenal, that bumpy take.
It's
Man, it's fucking great.
It's amazing.
You know,
amazing.
at this time, Scott Steiner was doing
And then-
moves nobody else was.
Did you guys get hear it? Fucking Alpha cracks the shit out of him right there, man. If you could hear it,
Oh!
there was audio right now. That's fucking. He beats the shit out of Scott Steiner with that fucking kendo stick. It's fucking fantastic.
You know, when you're wrestling.
Oh, God. I just
when
saw it.
When you're wrestling
he
in
does kind
Samoa,
of have an ass there, though.
I wonder sometimes if you were like, I don't know if I don't understand what he's saying just because he's being Samoan, or I don't understand what he's saying, so just knock the fuck out of me.
Anybody when they used to do their talk when they their intro, I miss that. I used to love that.
So one thing I've noticed early here in WrestleMania 9 is you hear people talk about nowadays all the crazy outside bumps people are doing, and these guys are bumping outside like crazy.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is like I
they're-
said. This is the best match in the entire fucking show.
It's much more measured back then, though. Much more measured.
Right, they didn't do it in
pace-
every way.
The pacing of the pacing.
Oh,
of
so
the
there's
match
the patented head shriek. I love the headbutts. It cracks me up.
You know,
And
that's
plus-
something.
And plus, Scott going over the top rope and hitting the ground. It looked like it didn't look
Like he
set up.
died.
And it
looked like
didn't
he
look
got
set up.
murdered.
It didn't look like he was cooperating with those guys. It flowed. It was natural. It looked like it was like, holy shit, this guy just got fucked up. It wasn't like, somebody looking at his guy going, okay, let's do this now. And shit now is just too choreographed.
I agree. I was going to say something here. This is something WWE is missing. Powerhouse tag teams like this. I know we have the Usos, but they're very choreographed. Nothing they do screams Samoan. You know what I mean?
The
They're not like.
Usos are butt. I don't like the Usos.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's nobody like a Steiner brother in the WWE right now. So
Now
I
that
mean,
the- Now that the revival's gone,
Yeah,
The best tag team that the WWE has is Viking Raiders, but they totally misuse them and make them into fucking clowns.
right.
These
And the
guys,
crowd goes dead.
I was just gonna say those Viking Raider guys, they could be like a head shrinkers type tag team if they let them be, but they're not gonna let them be.
No, they're going to turn them into what were those other guys that came out in skirts for the Highlanders? That's what they're going to end up being like, but only they get to hold the tag
So
team
what's
titles.
the tag team with Otis in it?
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah,
So-
but I think they're not even the tag team right now, right?
Yeah,
Didn't they?
that's the question. Do y'all think that they stay together, or they're going to run with Otis?
I think probably Tucker turns on Otis at some point.
Otis is
because of
hilarious.
Otis's popularity
See,
or whatever.
I don't see Tucker turning. I see Otis ultimately turning because he's got Mandy Rose with him.
Otis and the other Viking guy could be a tag team. They look like a couple bowling
How
balls.
bad
Yeah.
WrestleMania 9 is. We're talking about wrestling nowadays. I should tell you how bad this is.
Hey,
But no, I like the storyline that they gave Otis. I think it's like the best thing on TV right now.
my favorite things on WWE right now are Drew McIntyre and Bray Wyatt and Strowman. I like that. Story
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Bray
those
Wyatt-
guys are larger than life.
Right.
Rest of them are just cookie cutter, blah, blah.
Well, and that's the other thing about we watch on We Can't Wrestle and in the Asylum we talk about classic
typical
wrestling.
Scott Steiner mistake. He forgets that you cannot hurt the head shrinkers by hitting them in the head.
You would
And
think
it's in
you'd
their
know that
name.
going in.
Magic, it's in their name. They're the head shrinkers. Why would
I
you
mean-
hit them in the head?
See, this is what kept Scott Steiner from being that solo star. He had the moves, he had the strength, he had the speed. He just lacked a little bit of
He
that.
was just a fucking moron.
100% chance that I'll win. 98%.
But then came along a man who was more of a fucking moron, and his name was Vince Russo, and he said Scott Steiner shall be a star.
Bro.
You can call Vince Russo an idiot all day long, but at the same token, you got to give the man credit for some of the shit he did do. So
Never was a fan of his.
He
Like
asked
what?
for WCW with no Lou. but
Vince
he
Russo
also-
was actually really good as long as he had a filter.
Yeah, he had Vince filtering him, so he was great in WWF for the most part.
Yeah, he's like city water. It's
When he went to
pretty good as long as there's a filter.
Aaron, perfect example. He's like city
I like
water.
that. I'm gonna steal that one. I like that.
He had some genius ideas, and then he had other stuff like Val Venus PP ideas and Mae Young
Right.
having a hand ideas.
Or
Right.
that god awful Terry
Oh.
Miles miscarriage storyline.
Or the Katie Vick shit. Yep.
That wasn't even him.
That wasn't him.
That
He was
wasn't
gone
even
by
him.
then.
Okay, yeah, that's
That was
true.
Vince.
That was Vince all
and
by
Hunter,
himself.
Well,
Right.
Vince also did come up with puke. So yeah, Vince
Yeah.
had some pretty
You know, I love the movie Beyond the Mat, but when Vince McMahon keeps saying the word puke, I can
He's
literally break
gonna-
the DVD. I
He's
can
gonna.
break the DVD.
He's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, get over it. He didn't puke.
And he just
like
spit.
some-
I can't even throw up. He was like, he puked.
However, I will say during most of my corporate meetings in my head, I think that I'm gonna puke.
All right, guys.
Nate,
Another little interesting facts. Last question. Y'all are more historians. Is this our first time that we don't have red, white, and blue ropes?
Yes.
Yes.
well, I think it's
I mean, in the rock and wrestling / era, yeah, because I mean, you had back in the early when everything first started, you'd have those Montreal shows and stuff where they did it, but general TV, yeah,
they use these gold and black because it matches the
motif. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's definitely the whole Caesars thing, but I think it's the first Mania that's not red, white, blue.
Mania.
I think you're right.
so.
I'd have to look. Be honest with you, I don't think they went away from it. Did they have it in the Sky Dome too when they went there?
Yes.
Yes.
So, that's the only one I could think they might have changed the colors.
Now they change them, though. Now I think they're all red, ain't they?
What, the ropes?
Yeah. It's all red or all black.
One
No,
thing-
I
Red, isn't it?
I forgot. I did want to say earlier we were talking about our two best matches. Take his opinion as you will. Dave Meltzer actually gave Shawn Michaels and Tatanka 3.5 stars.
Out of what?
out of 5.
His normal 5, but you have to remember at this time 3.5. Like now he gives 8, 9, 172 stars.
Right.
At this
Only-
time
only
there
when
was
it's in the
very
Tokyo
few
Dome.
5 stars. So 3.5 was like pretty good back then.
I think.
Well, I gave it 3 Jeff Farmer yeps.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with 3. But Magic, I,
now
think there's
the
only
first
one
two matches,
WWE match
it's
with a 5-star.
Good, but then it's a shit show the rest of the way.
We'll
Magic,
see.
I think there's only one WWF match that's ever gotten a 5-star rating, and I think that was Undertaker Shawn at 25.
And that's
So
because
that-
Dave
well,
Meltzer has
if
Vince
no,
McMahon.
there's a couple because NXT has gotten some now.
Now I'm talking about before his star rating
No,
got big. You know,
I think Bret Hart
Red
and Stone Cold
and
got
then they
one.
do white ropes.
Didn't
Let's see.
Brett Nation Iron Man get a 5 too?
No, he actually Meltzer actually didn't like that match. He was there in person.
And that's like one of the best matches in my opinion. But
look, let's be honest though. Dave Meltzer does not give the WWE its credit because he doesn't get paid by them.
No.
So
Well, and he just I don't know. It's
Meltzer's good and bad for the business. Let's
he's
put it
good
that
and bad. I agree with you on that. I'll say that
way.
he is good and
He
bad.
says some really good shit and he says some really bad shit.
Right.
The problem I have with the fact that so many people rest their laurels on what he says is the same problem I have. It's the same problem I have with people who rest their laurels on what movie critics say. That's what you are, a critic. Like David and I, I like this Mania, he doesn't like this Mania, but that's
Right.
the beauty of being a fan. I can
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I'm not
I
saying
don't
this
care
is
what
like
Dave Meltzer says.
this is not like the worst pay-per-view in history. I'm just saying.
No, it's not Uncensored 95.
Comparatively
It's
speaking,
not December to Dismember.
right? Comparatively speaking, between all the WrestleManias, this to me is the second worst one.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to agree with Nate and say it's not that bad.
It has its good moments. And
Well,
the
we've
good,
also
I think,
both
outweighs the
agreed
bad.
that like WrestleMania 3 is the best one. So we
Derek.
agree there.
Oh, he flubbed that one.
Yeah, they fucked
I'm
that
gonna be-
Frankensteiner up. But
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot.
you
a
could
lot
even
more
see
of
it in
a
Scott's
modern-
face. He knew he fucked that up.
He's like, damn
There's
it.
a lot more of the
Damn it,
modern
my moment, the
WrestleManias.
WrestleMania moment.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
he
more
didn't catch
modern
the head on that
WrestleManias
one.
that I dislike than this one.
23 is bad too.
And some of them just like the newer ones, the more modern ones, they just drag fuck on, and it's
Magic,
just-
you want pizza?
Yeah,
And there's
give me
no
some.
the newer ones too. There's no like other than like
Hey, Doink, I love heel Doink. Sorry, Aaron, I'm cutting you off.
So
Well, I was just saying, like-
anyone who is wondering, Meltzer gave that 2.5 stars.
oh
He's a
fuck Dave
fucking
Meltzer.
idiot.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Better than Tatanka and HBK, by the way. But whatever.
Now, was
I
this
love
still Matt
I
Bourne?
love heel Doink.
Yes,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is Matt
Yeah,
Bourne.
This is
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Matt Bourne,
Bourne,
right.
right.
This is Doink what Doink should be all the time. Heel Doink
Right.
is fucking great.
They had no business turning Doink into a face.
No.
That's like, I mean,
started the face, then he
What?
healed and then back to face.
no. He went
Well,
face and stayed face.
Well, it was a face
That's
heel
when-
face.
No.
When he turned face, that's when it was portrayed by Ray Apollo.
Nice haircut.
Yeah, because of Bam Bam. Yeah, when he wrestled Bam Bam, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Ray Apollo and fucking Lombardi played him a couple times.
Didn't Steve
God,
Kearns play him a couple times too?
Luna.
Didn't Steve Kearns play him a couple times too? The guy that played Skinner?
Steve Kern
Yeah.
is the second Doink at this pay-per-view, I believe.
Yeah, he's under the ring.
Yeah.
Steve Kearns under the ring.
Yeah.
The
Steve
fact
Kearns
that
under the ring.
2 Hasbros is embarrassing as well.
Two. He's
And the
got
fact
three.
that one is actually rare is
He had
also
three,
stupid.
yeah.
He has 3. Demolition,
Well,
Cold Crush, and
yeah,
Evil.
but I'm talking about Crush. Crush.
Well, he was-
this
he was-
Crush.
He was
Shitty
known as Crush, David.
Yeah, but shitty Crush. Okay.
So,
He was shitty in Demolition too, David.
No,
bad.
he was already in Demolition. He was shit.
He killed Demolition, David. Demolition died because
He
they
did.
added Crush.
And at least it was okay with Demolition.
He
Crush
did.
is terrible here, and Evil Crush is even worse. Terrible.
David Gold, I will agree with you that we are about to hit the lull of WrestleMania 9. I like the start, I like the finish. The mid is where we lack.
All the rest of this is bad. Even the ending's bad.
Wait a minute.
Hogan was
Hulk-
done, sir. Hogan was done. Even I was over Hogan at
A
this
Hulk
point.
Hogan fan says he doesn't like seeing Hulk Hogan in a tag team match.
Crush looks like he's wearing Super Soaker attire.
Yeah.
I think MDM's the GOAT, but I feel like that match wasn't even good.
You
Quick,
probably won't
squeeze
agree
his
with
head.
this, but I actually
Head now.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Head now.
This is terrible. I mean, this whole Crush gimmick is garbage.
Garbage.
Fucking just throw it away.
When I was a
This
little
was
dude,
the
I was
best-
into it though.
You know what I always wondered?
You grew up, you're like, wow, what a fucking terrible gimmick.
This is going to be a stupid question, but I've never looked it up and I'm not sure. Was Brian Adams Hawaiian in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, he was born
He
there.
was? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's where they got the whole gimmick from.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from
Yeah, he was a
wherever
Hawaiian.
they put him in the video game or, and I can't remember.
He was born on the islands.
Okay, because I wasn't sure because
He's got a little bit of an accent when he does his promos. You can kind of
Yeah,
hear
but-
it.
No. But then when you look at him when he turns into Evil Crush, and then when he goes to the NWO and he becomes a member of Chronic, he doesn't have that Hawaiian accent anymore.
You can still hear it.
You can
Not
hear it a little bit.
really. Not
He
really.
also covered it up pretty well.
He kind of had the same accent as like a Morocco. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I thought they maybe just forced the gimmick out. You're going to be from Hawaii.
No, he was a Hawaiian guy.
I do love Doink here. The way
Yes, yeah.
maybe not this match wrestling all, but his facials, the way he acts, the laugh.
Well, Bourne's a fucking legend, man. Hell yeah.
He's
I'll
a-
never-
Have you guys ever seen when Duggan and Bourne get pissed at each other and have their little shoot thing at that fucking indie show? Have you guys ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
There's
Oh,
another
you gotta
one.
watch it. You gotta watch it. Look it up.
So
Not right
him and
now,
Duggan got
obviously.
into it. Did they fight or did they just like
They
was it an argument?
they basically had a match and kind of got in a little bit of a. It turned
Wow.
in their match turned into a fight.
I feel like
Wow.
Vince was trying to make this character entirely just a joke, but Bourne did it so fucking good that Vince
Yeah.
was like, you did this too well.
Vince
Bobby
didn't
did
expect him to be this psychotic.
Bobby
And this
Heenan
is
did an
real.
amazing job of putting this gimmick over. And
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan on commentary explained what this gimmick was better than anybody else. Secondly, I know we're gas bagging and that's fine. I love it. But I want to get my piece in on this match really quick. I mean, like five out of 6, so I'm the only one. I think it sucks. I think this match serves its purpose, and here's why I say that. First of all, this is the best thing that Crush character ever had, was the feud with Doink. Secondly, Doink and Crush in this match are playing their roles to perfection, and this wasn't meant to be a 5-star in the Tokyo or a 7,000-star in the Tokyo Dome match.
Oh no, not
It
by any
serves the
means.
very purpose that it's made to serve.
Well, I mean,
Shit, I gotcha.
the joke of it is that you're not supposed. You only Crush is supposed to be seeing that there's 2 Doinks. Everybody else is supposed to, because Bobby Heenan. It's an optical illusion, Once
Yeah,
again,
well,
Bobby Heenan.
On top of that, Doink is the shitty heel who's running from the big face for the majority of the match, which
Right.
is
The face is terrible too.
well,
Didn't get
and
over. That's why they turned him into Evil Crush.
I have no disagreement on Crush. So we're not going to disagree on Crush. 'Cause
Let's
he was
bootay.
bootay.
Let's admit something here, though. When they turned him into Evil Crush, they attempted to have Macho Man help to get him over, and even
Didn't work.
Randy Savage couldn't fix this.
Yeah, and that was all because Randy and Brian Adams are real life buds.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's why he had him in the WCW too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think
Yeah.
Doink should have came out in an ice cream truck.
that'd be cool.
that would have been cool. Throwing ice cream to the fans.
Yeah, that'd have been hilarious.
Nowadays, WrestleMania, he would have had a cool fucking clown entrance with a bunch of clowns running around and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Have an ice cream truck with like a splattered blood, like he just hit somebody across the hood.
Like I said,
Giving out ice cream and then just taking kids.
oh, you want ice cream? And then you sit in front of him. Like,
Today there would be
Eat it
a
in
bunch of
front of
clowns
them.
pop locking a flow rider.
and he'd be wrestling the Rock,
Yeah,
And then Cena would come out and go, "I thought I was in this match. You can't see it." This is just bad.
So,
God.
do you think when Rey Mysterio came out dressed as Doink against Brock Lesnar, that was on purpose, or do you think that was by accident?
Definitely on purpose.
Right? That was him paying homage to Doink the Clown.
Most of Ray's attire is, in one way or another, paying homage to something.
Right. But some people say it was the Joker, not Doink the Clown. I think it was Doink the Clown.
Yeah, I think it might have been Joker, but it ended up looking like Doink. Kind of when I dressed up at
Yeah.
Halloween, trying to be
It was
50
Doink.
Cent.
It
Everyone
was
called
Doink,
me
it
out
was Doink
was
the
most
Joker.
wanted. So
You were B-Rad G.
yeah, or the guy that used to be married to Britney Spears. That's what they kept calling me. Kevin
No,
Federline.
you were not Kevin Federline. You were B-Rad from Malibu.
Don't be hating. I'm down. I'm down.
Drive it home.
Ouch.
Oh, look
There
at
it
that.
is.
The best part's when he put his makeup purposely to where most of it rubbed off on the middle.
Right.
And not
So
the
this way,
edges.
when the guy at the bottom came out, it looked like he was the same Doink.
Yeah.
You knew what he was doing. That was like by far one of the scariest pile drivers I've ever seen, though, because his head was sticking out between Doink's legs. So he probably
Yeah,
didn't
he
snag.
right.
Was like,
He
damn.
hit it right. He didn't hurt him. You could tell he hit it right.
You never know.
I know what you're saying, but I could tell he hit that right.
Hit what right? Which one?
The pile driver.
He did it right.
No,
fun.
that was an okay ending, but it wasn't hit right. The head should never hit first.
I agree. The head should never hit at all.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you
exactly.
can also understand Crush is how many inches taller than Doink. That's probably not a maneuver.
Right. So you don't call that spot in that match.
And
No,
that's
I
like when
Now, also, 1,000 things go wrong a match and no one gets hurt. So you know you're always hoping.
Right.
Oh no.
And
My
I love
favorite-
this, the boot, and he is out cold.
Right.
I mean, I'm happy Crush lost the match. That's for sure.
Hey, spoiler!
If you ain't seen WrestleMania 9 by now, get your ass in the network and watch it. Or leave our stream.
So one thing is I was going back and looking at this, though. One thing that anytime I go back and watch these and try to look into the history, it does make me really miss how much WWF cared about every storyline.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, now it's so much mid card and early card guys. It's let's just throw a match together and hope it's good.
Right.
Well, what
The
makes
rest
it
of these
what,
were nice long build
There he
ups.
goes.
what makes it suffer the most now in the new product, and it's the and I've said this a couple times on the show, but I'll say it again. The Attitude Era ruined wrestling. During the time I loved the Attitude Era. I look back on it now with a bit of bitterness because and as an example, you have Akeem and the Big Boss Man. Akeem beats Enhancement Talent A, Enhancement Talent B, Enhancement Talent C. Boss Man, Enhancement Talent A, Enhancement Talent B, Enhancement Talent C. So now these two guys are both stars. Then the Boss Man goes into the ring and he beats Akeem. Now the Boss Man, a star, beat Akeem, a star, and now Boss Man is a bigger star. And the way that wrestling is booked now and the way that it's written now does nothing to build stars.
Well, you have
No.
pay-per-views every month, too. You can't have that. We used to only have 6 a year, and you had more than
4.
enough time. So
We
it
had
was
4.
4, and it went up to 6
Right.
because they did a couple in your houses in between.
Right.
So you had like months where you're building these storylines up. Now it's like, okay, we got another pay-per-view in 3 weeks. We got
There's a
to
move Crush should never do.
Wow.
There are times where I don't even I don't know about you guys, but there are times where I forget who holds belts.
I don't know who the Intercontinental Champion is right now, Nate.
Yeah, is it still
Because you
Sami
I
don't
Zayn?
really don't.
Shawn Michaels, we just saw him defend it.
You're right, Magic. You're right.
Shawn Michaels.
No,
I think
really. Is it?
I think it's Sami Zayn.
Shit,
Yeah.
I'll take Tatanka. I'll take WrestleMania 9 on TV versus what's on now.
Hit him again.
Shit.
I always loved it. It's the loaded arm. Like, what could he really have in there? A piece of metal?
His batteries, man.
Damn.
You remember right? He
So-
hit him and batteries blew out.
Yeah.
And
I love
Bourne was
how
Matt Bourne
they-
was so good.
They had them look identical though too. I mean, I know one is Steve Keirn and one's Matt Borg, but they could have been twins.
Oh, he played that. He did perfect there.
So isn't this the story that while he was under there, he basically was like peeing in a bucket too?
Yeah,
Yep.
I
And they
said
had
earlier he
TV
had
under
the
there
shit.
for him, and then snacks and and beer under there. He said, or whatever. Yep.
He was hating
Yeah,
life
it was
whenever
really-
Yokozuna comes out to wrestle.
Yeah, he's like the ring was shaking. I was so
All
nervous.
right, now look at this. We're already an hour and 2 minutes into WrestleMania in this match, right?
Yeah.
He only came out for 3 minutes at this match. But what about also the hour of prep and letting the fans in? So that man was under there for 2 or 3 hours.
He's
I
under
think
there
it
for
5.5 hours.
My
This is
Five and a half
favorite,
hours, yeah.
My favorite-
3 hours plus.
my favorite under the ring story is from WCW, and it was during the Ultimate Warrior
Oh yeah.
era of
Mhm.
WCW, and all the NWO guys had to stay under there, and I forget even who said the story, but they were all under there and they had to like piss and shit in a bucket and everything. I think it was Scott Hall. Scott Hall told the story because they're all underneath the ring and they're all like pissing and shit in this bucket and everything, and fuck Kurt Hennig's under there. And right before they're all supposed to go out, Kurt Hennig's just like, fuck it, and kicks the bucket over.
Damn.
Like, all these guys are like, oh my god.
Oh no. Those enchiladas.
Hey guys,
Damn it, Hall. What did I tell you
Look,
about
no one's under there, guys.
guys,
What?
look, it's a rare.
No
it's
one's
a
under
rare-
there.
It's a rare Bill Alfonso sighting.
At this time, Bill Alfonso was wherever El Gigante was at. He was his handler.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
he spoke the language. He spoke the.
Yeah, he speaks
Wow.
the Argentinian version of Spanish.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why if you
So-
look at when he went to El Gigante, well, Giant Gonzalez was in WCW.
Was in
Bill
WCW,
Alfonso-
so was Bill Alfonso, yeah.
yeah, like he
Wow.
drove him around,
So
took
why
care of him. He was
Why-
basically like Tim White was for Andre the Giant. It was like
Why
These
couldn't
guys get along?
Why couldn't Fonzie get Giant Gonzalez a job in ECW then?
After this match, he didn't get a job very many places.
No, he
And
didn't.
then he died.
Yeah. Oh, look, Todd Pettengill.
I love
Ooh,
Todd
who
Pettengill.
preferred?
Todd Pettengill.
Ryan Gonzalez
Todd
versus
Pettengill was awesome.
Ali versus Taker at WrestleMania.
I
I
have a
love
feeling
I
that
love
Todd Pettengill watches Raw nowadays or SmackDown and sees Michael Cole and goes, "Fuck, that should have been me."
I don't give a shit. Todd Pettengill was funny, and I enjoyed Todd Pettengill.
No, I did too. There was nothing wrong with him.
Remember when he interviewed the fake Bill Clinton? Like, I'm here with Bill. I'm enjoying
And then the fireworks go off, and they're like, "Get down, get down!"
Yeah, they took him down. 'Cause Bam Bam was coming out. That was good shit.
I was just talking IRS.
Like an underrated like thing was, and nobody else will probably even know what I'm saying. When Mania was like WWF Mania was a show, Todd Pettengill and Stephanie Lyon did some funny shit.
It was like a morning radio show.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they were funny on there.
Yo.
Oh, gee, this
Here's
is
the match that turns Razor. This is the match that turns Razor. By the way,
Fast. Coming up.
and boy, how disappointing is it to say that a Scott Hall Razor Ramon match is shit.
Right. Because he
He was,
doesn't have
he was one of my favorites back then. I
damn
love
good
it.
in the ring. You
I
gotta
know,
give him
but yeah, this is the match that if you look at it and listen to the crowd reaction, and everything, this is what made the WWF and Vince McMahon decide they were going to turn Razor.
Oh, because Razor, he was so amazing. Like, he was supposed to be such a heel, and everyone loved it.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
The machismo, the just
I used
they
to.
loved it.
I laughed whenever he'd pull the toothpick out and throw it at some kid.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
I always wondered how the fuck that toothpick would stay in his ear in an entire match sometimes.
Right.
The best one was when Bret Hart took his glasses off that time, put them on the kid, and then Razor walks over to the kid and throws a toothpick at him.
And he throws the toothpick and he has another one in his ear and like he starts getting beat up and the toothpick is still there. And you're like, how the fuck is that staying?
Glued or something.
Hair gel.
And right now, in Gorilla,
Backwards.
Vince McMahon is going, he has no tan.
And half the fans are like, who is this guy? Because
Freaking Backlund.
it's like 85. So who the
Wow,
fuck is
look at Scott Hall though. He just looks like $1 million.
And then you send a guy who was one of the biggest of all time in '85 out to the ring to wrestle Razor Ramon, and the fans are like, "Eh,"
To generic music too. That was the bad part.
and they're like, "Who is?" And they're like, "Eh, who is this
Toothpicking.
guy?"
My favorite Bob Backlund story. You guys ever heard Kevin Nash's story about Bob Backlund?
Would it beat him?
No. He said he was Kevin Nash said he was staying at this hotel, and they used to get like a list of like every room guys are staying at, in case you wanted to go talk to somebody or whatever.
Right.
And he was like in his room, Kevin Nash was, and he just kept hearing like thump, 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 like thump, 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 thump. And he was like,
Oh, God.
man, somebody's getting them guts, He's like thump, 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 thump. And it's the room next to him, so he looks it up, and it's Bob Backlund. He's like, God damn, Bob Backlund. and it like it went for like 2 hours, and he's like, Jesus Christ, Bob Backlund's a fucking stallion, man. Bump, 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 bump. So the next day he sees Bob Backlund. He's like, hey, what's up, Bob? And Bob's like, hey, Kevin. And he's like, man, I heard you get it on last night. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I heard it all night. Thump, 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 thump. And Bob was like, no. Like Bob had his legs up on the bed and was like doing sit-ups. Kevin Nash said it was the most letdown he'd ever known. He just thought Bob was just getting them guts all night.
So I've only heard these stories about how many push-ups, sit-ups, constantly working out Bob Backlund's doing. And even when he was younger, that guy never really had much of a body.
Yeah, it doesn't show.
Right, he could probably throw any of us across the room back then.
Oh yeah. Back then, now I think he could throw any of us across the room.
I loved his crazy gimmick, and when he beat Brat in the chicken wing, that was awesome.
Yeah.
He is also
That
one
was
of the
fun.
coolest.
I enjoyed
one of
that
the
angle.
Coolest wrestlers I ever met in person. He actually genuinely wanted to, I went to leave after he signed my magazine. And he's like, no, wait. And just legitimately wanted to talk to me and find out,
I want you to. So Razor just hit him in the head, and we had the best sell ever. He said, "Stop, stop hitting me."
The fans are just like, who is this guy in the ring with Razor?
That's they're probably naive fans because they don't realize that this is a guy that sold out Madison Square Garden quite a few times.
It's the same as it is nowadays, though. When you get someone from the '90s out there and they're like, "Nah," I don't know.
Can anybody hear David?
Yeah.
Can you hear him, Rocky?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I can hear everybody, I think.
I can hear.
Archie, you can't hear David?
No, I can't hear David.
I'm going to take him.
Did you mute me, fucker?
All right.
That cheap
Leave him
tech
there.
trash he's got over there.
Leave him there.
Leave him out. Leave him out. Ah!
Fuck all y'all. Yeah. Go.
David.
Now tell me why this match is getting so much hate. This is two good wrestlers having a two.
Well, no,
a good
I'm not.
wrestling
I
match.
didn't give the match hate. I just said this was the match when the fans.
It is WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it's too. I don't
It's that
know.
clicky noise.
Nick Francis isn't here, so I don't know what the clicky noise is.
It sounds like fucking signs when they're listening on the baby monitor.
It might be me because I had to take my earphones out.
Or it's some kind of Aborigine
So
language.
do you see this?
It's
I mean, that it's
like
a
the-
pretty
it's like
bad
the
match.
gods of
Nothing's
Ukraine.
Yeah, like
executed.
I feel like somebody's warning me that there's a fucking
I'll be back.
tiger behind me or something.
Sounds like there's scarabs coming up the wall.
All right, guys. Without looking, any guesses on what Meltzer gave that one?
A half a star.
Half star. Okay. Any others?
I'll go with
One,
1.5. 1.5.
I was
1.5?
gonna say one. Yeah.
I'll go a 1.
He went negative 1 star.
Well, that's because he's a fucking idiot.
Oh.
Here's the only time Mike Rotunda was entertaining.
Beat him with a fucking roll up.
Yeah, other than the IRS character, Mike Rotunda was boring.
Boring.
Yeah,
as
what
fuck.
Dude on MDM.
I wonder
there.
what happened to his briefcase. They made that the Money in the Bank briefcase, didn't they?
I
Put a
love
sticker
that
on it.
damn suit.
Like if wheat bread became a person, it would be Mike Rotunda.
Amen. Amen. That's
I love
fact.
those tag belts too. Fucking gorgeous. I miss those tag belts.
They're beautiful.
Fucking belts were gorgeous. I don't know what the hell they're doing now with belts.
Crack him open. Do it.
Fuck him up. Fuck Brutus
Booty
Beefcake.
beef.
Bury it in
Hashtag
his
booty
freaking
beef.
forehead.
Boom.
Oh my God, the Jimmy turn.
Oh, baby, yeah. Took his eyebrows
it's so
right
over.
off.
We're gonna kill Brutus. We are gonna kill Brutus. Brutus is dead.
Look, you can see his eyebrows are still on that thing.
Split his head to the booty beef. Fuck that guy.
Wait a minute, those aren't his eyebrows. Those are the 1, 2, 3 kids.
What was he thinking when he did the photo shoot for his figure?
Moron.
So here is your typical Brutus the Barber Beefcake, disciple, booty man, whatever you want to call him, the typical storyline. Gets his ass whooped, Hogan comes and saves him.
Yes.
Every time.
And there is your career, Ed Leslie.
Yeah, that's pretty much piss poor.
The worst, and it's the one nobody ever talks about it, but it's the worst, was when he was the man with no name.
Which is a name.
Which is a fucking name. Yeah. The man
why-
with no name. It's a
That's
name.
why I always hated the Chris Candido no gimmicks needed, because no gimmicks needed is a gimmick.
My favorite was the Zodiac.
Yes, go, yes.
Oh, look at IRS with the ultimate cut down. Listen up, you mega morons.
You know what my favorite IRS line is, Magic?
What's that?
Royal Rumble 94. He comes to the ring.
They Archie needs you to add him back.
Okay. He comes to the ring and he goes, "Oh, I see every tax cheat in Rhode Island showed up here tonight." I love that fucking.
I
Oh,
left
you
during
tax
Scott
cheaters.
Hall and Bob Backlund. You guys are talking about Brutus Beefcake. What happened
We're on the next match.
already?
It was a quick razor match.
You didn't pay your internet tax and you got fucking booted.
No, it was making the clicky noise you guys said, and that was because of me, because I had to take my earphones out.
We should have known it was Archie's fault.
So what match are we up to?
We're
IRS.
Money Inc. and
Brett and Yokozuna.
Oh, the terrible Hogan match?
yeah, we're at the.
there's
and,
like a pretty
oh, wait.
blonde 90s 3 chick right there.
Archie, no such thing, by the way.
Okay, I got to ask, and maybe you guys know, who was the moron that was at every freaking pay-per-view around this time period that was always at ringside? He was kind of a half-breed kind of fellow with glasses.
Really just
He was at every freaking pay-per-view.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rocky Turner's expression does not speak for the rest of us at We Can't Wrestle podcast.
I
Well,
think
he
it's
was.
the
He
first
was-
time.
he had a
I think it's the
mix to
first
him.
time. No. This is the first, Nate. This is the first. This is the first time I've ever been on something with multiple people where I didn't say the most offensive thing.
I forgot what genre we're living in. But he was of two
And
different
this is
ethnics.
live. This can't even be edited out.
I think it's appropriate if you're watching
Rocky,
the,
the
walk at home,
proper
we're
term
about
is
at
mixed.
1:15.
Whatever. But do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yes,
He
Yes,
was
I know
over-
what you're talking
and he
about,
was-
but I
he
don't
was-
want to admit it because then I give
Rocky.
validity to what
he
you
was-
just said.
He was always with the guy that kind of looked like Diesel or tried to look like Diesel, like with
Yeah.
the beard. And
All right.
Probably. This
Get out
guy
the
had
way,
like
Brutus.
he always had like
the
the
Howard
Hogan,
Stern guy.
the white
Yeah.
Hogan shirt on.
Hell yeah, black eye and all,
Bad
bro.
glasses and
It was kind of
blondish.
he had like a curly reddish hair, glasses,
Yeah.
goofy
Yep.
looking, kind of goofy.
Every time you walked into a bar, they played that share song.
David,
Yep.
you missed the best thing that's ever happened on the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
You did.
Is that guy
Well,
at this one?
I don't know.
Yes,
We
he
haven't seen him yet. He probably
Just
is.
look, he's ringside, guaranteed.
Look at that man.
Him and then the guy that always like dressed up like Hogan.
He's like, where's
Yeah.
Waldo of the wrestling? He's there somewhere.
Mark my words. When this is all over, said and done, the next wrestling show that Rocky does, if I go to it, I'm inviting that guy Rocky talked about to that show.
Bring him on.
To
I'd
come
love
and
to.
say
I'd love to
hi.
ask him some stuff.
I'm going
Like
to
I
have him
said-
walk up to Rocky and be like, "Hi, I heard you said something about me."
When he walks up, Arch, when he walks up, make sure you play the Cher song.
Right.
And look at the crowd. The crowd is so happy.
He's a
that Hogan is
half-breed.
back.
Oh my god.
They are popping.
Okay, so remember when we,
Hulkamania has returned.
Who punched him in the eye?
David, remember when we started this? I said there were 3 things that I despise about this pay-per-view.
Is this one of them?
Not the match, but the finish. I hate the finish of this match.
Who punched him in the eye?
Apparently he
Supposedly-
did it.
Hogan said it's a jet ski,
Right.
but other people say it's Randy Savage.
Right.
There are other people that say he dropped
I like the
weight on
Randy
his
Savage
face.
angle better.
I do too.
For what it's worth,
I don't think a jet ski would have did that bad of a black eye to him.
Meltzer and
What?
Bruce Pritchard
Man,
both
they let-
say it wasn't
They
much.
let Hogan have the belt for like 4
They
seconds.
say what?
They said it was not Macho Man. They said
What
it's an
happened?
accident.
I'm looking for that guy.
Oh god.
Yeah. They said something about it. It was literally a jet ski thing, right?
Yeah, Hogan was on a jet ski and he fell off and smacked him in the head. And I think he said if it would have been for Brutus being there, he would have drowned and died or whatever.
So Brutus's titanium face mask saved him?
Man,
For
that's a
one-
heck of a
You
shiner.
would have thought it would have made him sink.
For once,
One though,
the
this is where we first start seeing lean Hulk Hogan.
Hogan was
Hulk-
like, if it wasn't for the buoyancy of Brutus, brother, I'd be dead by now.
Hogan and Hart proving they were really heels, beating up the referee after the match was over because it didn't go their way.
we're seeing lean Hogan magic because this is the beginning of we're in the midst of the steroid trial here.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Deflate gate. That's what I call it.
Yeah. Honey, I Shrunk the Hogan.
The best.
Brother.
So I do believe that it's the truth that Brutus saved him, because at that point
What's the
he
next
said
match that's coming up after
he
this?
said no matter what, Brutus, you'll have a job in wrestling.
Yeah, Hogan, he was like, I can't let that guy drown. Fuck.
It's Hogan. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Brutus was like, no, I have
Now
a
I got a
second
question for you guys. Did they know that Hogan was going to take the title all along? Like that it was going to be Yoko beating Brett and then Hogan takes the title from Yoko?
Well, yeah, it's fake.
No.
What? You can't.
I mean, did Vince did
Hold on.
You can't
I
say
listened
all
to
right, so
Jim
we've heard the
Ross.
words half breed and fake. How many more taboo
Yeah.
words are we
Yeah,
saying
you
tonight?
can't say half breed or fake.
So Jim Ross,
No,
remember this
I'm
is
saying
Jim Ross.
There's nothing worse than a fake half breed.
Exactly. Come on.
That's a whole breed.
Once again,
No,
I'd like to
what I'm
point
asking
forth
is,
that these are
did
not
Vince
the
throw a
feelings,
curveball halfway
emotions
through the
of
show
any
and
podcast
shit
that
his
you are
pants
listening
thinking,
to.
am I really going to put my belt on Yokozuna?
So Archie,
You know what I mean? Or
How
was
was
it
Yoko
always?
how was Yoko a bad champ?
He wasn't.
He was unstoppable.
No, but didn't
Thanks-
David
thanks
say
to
that
Mr.
Yoko shouldn't have
PG.
been champ?
I agree. He shouldn't have been champ.
No, I'm saying I was saying I don't understand why Yoko was a bad choice to be champ.
He wasn't.
I think they had. Let me rephrase. I guess he was a choice. It
oh,
wasn't a
$1 Million Man is so dumb. He hit him right in that mask.
But I
What
think
an
they had better options at the time.
I'll be back, fellas.
Who?
Just-
Okay. Who,
I've
who-
got
who?
some. I've got some protesters beating on my door.
So Archie,
Okay.
are you there? Archie, can you hear me?
I wouldn't put it past it right now, Rock.
Can anyone hear me?
Right.
I can hear you,
I can
Magic.
hear you, Magic.
Okay. So Archie, I was
I'm not
listening
able to hear
to
Magic.
not too
Okay,
long
hold
ago.
on.
You were
I'm
asking
making all the
if
trouble.
they knew.
Magic. Hold on just a second. Archie can't hear you, so I'm going to take you out and bring you back in.
Gotcha.
That usually fixes the problem.
Yeah.
And doink. There we go. Now,
Can you hear me
Archie,
now,
speak to-
Archie?
There was
Magic.
Archie.
Is Rocky
Yes.
the one that said half breed?
Yes, he is.
So Archie
Rocky's the one that
was
said half breed, right?
Archie was
Aaron.
asking if
That's
they
why he's
knew.
got people at his door.
Aaron.
What?
Hold on. I'm trying to see if Magic and Archie.
Magic, can you hear me?
I can hear Archie.
I can't hear Magic.
You can't?
No.
Okay. I'm going to take Archie out and bring him back.
Fine.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Quit causing fucking trouble, Mitchell.
Never.
All right, Archie.
Yes, I'm here.
Archie,
Magic.
can you hear me?
Still can't hear him.
Still can't hear Magic. What the fuck?
I can hear
I'm going to
Magic.
take you.
Get some
I'm
art
kicking
for
you
your
both out.
walls, Archie. Get like a picture or something.
This is
I took them both out.
Jesus Christ. What is going
I love how I
on?
keep cutting. Yeah, whatever. I love how I keep
I don't think
cutting
anyone's
Archie off
watching this anymore, anyways.
mid.
Yeah. I texted Nate. I texted
You
Nate,
know-
how do we know anybody's watching? And he was like, nobody's watching.
you know, Gold.
Yeah, we have like 2,500 members and not one person is watched.
You know, Gold. Just because they took me out didn't mean I couldn't hear what you were saying.
What did I
Feelings
say
hurt.
about you?
Just when
You
they
said to
take
leave
me out,
there.
they bring me back in.
So I went to
I know
see.
you can hear me. I said it so you could hear.
All right, can
Magic?
you hear me now?
Yes, I
Still
can hear you.
can't hear Majeski.
I think Archie just doesn't love me.
He could be cursing me right now for all I know.
He
Is
says
this
he
the
thinks
first?
you don't love
Is this the first and only time that Hulk Hogan and Ted DiBiase were ever in the ring together, and DiBiase had a better body?
Probably. Probably.
I don't know. I kind of liked Lean Hogan.
I'm not saying nothing against Hogan. I'm just asking a question. Like, to me,
Not even
DiBiase
more
looks like he's in
than
better shape than
WWE.
Hulk Hogan, and DiBiase was always kind of like, you know, like a roly poly oly type.
Yeah, the dad bod.
Yeah,
Magic, can
these
you
guys
hear
look
me?
like they're walking out of
I
a
can hear you,
business
Archie.
convention.
Can you hear me, Archie?
Wait.
Guess he's
Archie
still...
Magic can hear
Oh
you.
my gosh.
No, Magic. I can't hear Magic anymore. I still can't.
Look at this. I love this though. We quit. We're out of
Let me
here.
leave.
And then the ref just makes up shit. Like, oh yeah, if you leave, you'll lose.
Yeah, we're the champions. We can just leave. Not today. Not when
That's what
Hulk
I say, I
Hogan's
don't-
involved.
I do not. Yeah, the finish of this match was, garbage.
It was dookie.
Garbage.
There is no way you can walk away from Hulk Hogan.
The match is dookie. We lost Rocky. Did he leave us?
Yeah, the Lynchers got him.
I can't believe
Magic.
we've been on almost 2 hours and we still have quite a bit of show to go.
And I can't believe I still can't hear Magic. Amazing.
Archie, I love you.
Oh, there we go. We're good. We're good. I heard that. You love me.
All
I love
right.
you too.
I've only been trying to
All
answer your question for 673 minutes.
Rocky, did they get you?
What I missed?
Rocky? Did the half breeds get you?
He was at the door. I told him he had the wrong address.
You missed the ultimate Hulk
Was he
Hogan
He's
rule.
like, I won't buy cookies from your kind. Get off my stoop.
Get out of my yard.
Get out of my yard.
with your pink tank top.
Guys knocking on the door. Rocky Turner? No,
But
you
it-
got the wrong address.
But you guys know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
we know who
you're
exactly
talking about.
In
I wish
fact,
I had a picture of him. I'd probably have that as my profile pic.
I'm gonna find a picture of him right now. I don't know what I'm Googling, but I'm Googling something.
It was really ironic when he was selling Oreo cookies. Door to door.
Fans proud at every wrestling
All right.
event. Half breed.
I think Aaron's trying to outdo me.
Well, you can ask.
I don't think I can hear Aaron. It's me again.
In my defense, I grew up in West Virginia. I'm from West Virginia originally, so I don't
You
come
can
with
ask
much of a
Archie.
filter.
You can ask Archie every single episode of the We Can't Wrestle
Rocky,
podcast.
I have to show you
edit
what I
out
put in my Google
something
search.
there.
What do you got to do,
Nothing
Nate?
popped up. Can you see that?
Okay, so here you go.
Yeah,
Rule number
there it
one. The only way that anyone will ever beat Hulk Hogan is by cheating.
Mhm.
Nate,
Uh-huh.
you got to edit out something I do every show.
Hold on,
That
Guys,
was-
if y'all could be quiet, I'm trying to watch the greatest wrestler ever tweet here.
You're watching Ric Flair? I didn't even know he was on WrestleMania.
Damn,
Now.
I didn't know Ted DiBiase and Macho Man were in the ring again.
I do believe Nate said he edits out something at least once
I
episode.
think I can't
One
hear
episode,
Aaron.
I
I'm trying
say.
to hear Aaron, but I can't hear him.
Magic wants a Brock Lesnar Hogan match again.
No.
I don't want to cry, okay?
Nate, talk. I want to see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Nope, can't hear Nate either. Wow, I'm just making all the trouble today.
Well, hold on. I don't think I can hear Nate.
I hear
Which is
Nate.
the problem.
I don't hear Nate.
I think I hear him.
Nate's gone.
Nate took himself out.
Oh,
This is a clusterfuck.
All right,
Can you
guys.
guys hear me?
There he is.
Now, yeah, we can hear you. Nate, I can hear Aaron. Nate, talk.
StreamYard is a bitch.
We're good.
All right.
I can hear you, Nate.
Rocky.
Losing subscribers.
Yo.
How about
Rocky.
everybody stop for 1 second, and then everybody say
No,
something?
hold
So
on.
let's start. Oh,
Hold on. No, hold on.
Oh, shit.
Rocky.
It's the $1 million
Is that
dream,
him?
guys. It is
Wait a
the $1
minute.
million dream. No
Rocky,
way Hulk
is that
Hogan gets
him?
out of this.
That's him.
I knew
That
exactly
goofy-
who you were.
That
I knew
goofy
exactly.
turd.
Who, I
There's
knew
that
exactly who he was talking about.
fucking half breed.
That's right there. That's him.
God damn it!
I knew exactly who
Come
you were
on, Hulk.
talking about the minute you said
Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep.
There's that double stuffed Oreo.
Let's go.
We're all going to
Guys.
hell. We're all going to hell.
Guys, all I put
Hogan,
was
Hogan is
in search engine, 80s wrestling fan at Mania. He's in every fucking picture.
I told you. Do you guys know him? We ought to get him in the group.
I got to find out his name. Hold on.
I bet you he's on there.
I have to
I
find
bet he's
out his
already
name.
in the asylum right now watching us.
He probably
Right.
is. He's probably
like, what-
thinking I'm going to kick Rock's
I'm-
ass for calling me a
I'm
half-breed.
actually
He's the one who knocked on the
I'm-
door. That's gonna go.
His name is Zebra
legit.
Montoya.
What?
What? It's
Zebra
over.
Montoya.
And there you go, Gold. Lucky you. You got to see $1 million man puts Hogan to sleep.
Put him out.
But just
Choke
like
him.
that, listen to that crowd. They still love the Hulkster.
Aaron, how did you find out his name?
His name is Zebra Montoya.
Is that really his name?
No.
Oh, you had me going, man.
You really think a mixed man's name is Zebra Montoya?
I don't know.
Guys, how awesome would it be to have Jimmy's jacket, though? Look at that jacket.
No,
Especially
I wouldn't want that. I
If we
wouldn't want
took
that.
Brutus off and put in
I-
Macho.
or
No.
anybody but Brutus.
Anybody.
We were supposed to have
Anybody but
Jimmy.
Brutus.
We were supposed to have
Hulk
Jimmy
hulking up.
here before the whole COVID thing hit.
Where
I've
did
never
Gold
met
go
Jimmy.
again?
We are hulking up, brother. We are hulking
Yes,
up.
sir.
Oh, wait. Oh, it was a fake Hulk up.
Oh,
Fake Hulk
man.
up.
But Booty Beef's in for the save.
How sad is it that one of the greatest of all time has to sell for that piece of shit?
That stupid mask.
Hey, don't say that. Gold's going to get mad just because Hogan had to sell that $1 million dream.
Count it, Hebner. Count it.
Fucking beefcake.
He falls over him.
You know what? I could never. And it
I'd
still
kick
pisses
my own
me
ass
off.
if I wore those pants.
It pisses me off to this day. Referee gets knocked out. New referee comes in, counts to 3, but then decides to say, "Oh no, wait, there's a disqualification." Why the fuck did you count 3 then? Why didn't you just ring the bell in the beginning when you got to the ring? You saw him get knocked out. You know.
It's-
All right,
it's-
Archie, rule number 1 of 90s wrestling, don't use
Yeah.
logic.
No,
Yeah.
I have to.
Well,
I
Don't
have
let
to.
logic get in the way of a good story.
When I was 9, I didn't let logic rule my life. When I'm 38, I have to let logic rule my life.
As much as
I'll give
as
Beefcake one thing. At least he was holding a tag rope. That makes him better than anybody now, I guess.
Right?
as much
Do
as
they
I
even
love-
have tag ropes anymore?
Yeah,
They do,
can
but
take
nobody
it
uses
anymore.
them.
Oh,
Here's the
big
hot
knee.
tag.
as
The
much
best
as I
hot
love
tag
Dust-
in the business, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
as much as I as, mu-
Hot
as much as
booty
I
beef.
love
Oh, flying knee. I love it. Boom, the big right hand. Brutus is going crazy. Oh, here it comes. It's the butt drop. And yeah, that's awesome.
I
Wow,
have to
you
say
say
the atomic drop is probably my least favorite move.
yeah, it makes
of all
no
time.
sense. Why are you attacking your opponent's ass? Like, what is that
If
going
you're,
to get
if
you?
you're going to do an atomic drop, just drop them on the back of their heads.
Oh, what a little back hit.
Did you say,
Oh,
why are you tapping your opponent's ass?
Why are you attacking your opponent's ass?
I
What
thought
is
you
it
said,
gonna
why
do?
are you tapping
No,
your opponent's
no.
ass?
No,
Like,
you
ask Pat
sicko.
Patterson, he'll tell you.
No, you sicko.
That's
I'm
how you
going
got up in the
banana.
business with Patterson.
Can everybody hear me all right? Check,
Yeah.
check.
No, you're good. You're good.
So are you
Guys,
guys watching us and the wrestling match or both?
Yes.
Or one or the other?
Both.
I got it up on my phone.
Yeah, I have it on my phone too. Well, but my
Have you
other
guys
phone.
on this side of the screen, the show on this side of my screen.
Yeah, I need to do
Took me a few hours to figure it out.
Guys, can we go ahead and award Rocky the Jim Cornette of the Night award? I mean, it's only fair.
All right, guys. So back to WrestleMania 9.
that. Let me get my
Obviously,
tennis racket.
The only way you can stop Brutus the Barber Beefcake is by cheating with a foreign object. Otherwise,
Kick him in the knee.
he
Kick
runs
him in the
through it.
knee.
That or
Punch him.
trying to take off his mask.
Yes.
Yeah. Which he never used again a day after that.
Look at that. Who cares about your stupid mask?
Who cares about your stupid everything, Brutus Beefcake?
Yeah, he looks like a half-peeled Slim Jim.
The best beefcake story is when they thought there was anthrax in the subway, and he had to be like, "No, sorry, that was my cocaine.
Cocaine.
That was a real thing." Like, he was at work and he was working in the subway, and they found a white substance, and they thought it was anthrax. And Ed Leslie, after they started bringing in fucking law enforcement, I was like, "Yep, shit just got real. Okay, it was my cocaine. I'm sorry."
No, I really.
Look at this.
I had
love this.
French toast for breakfast.
And they were all like, "Bullshit! You can't afford French toast. You can't even afford cinnamon toast crunch, bitch. Get back in the booth."
Weren't you the fucking Zodiac?
Yeah, get back in the booth and do your job, Leslie.
He turned on Hogan. Oh my God.
Move the damn train.
Big double clothesline.
Aaron, did I hear you complaining about the man with no name while I was out of the video?
Yeah, fucking
That-
worst gimmick ever.
That it actually is a name.
Yeah, it's a fucking
We
name.
got him.
Okay, now explain something to me though.
Cinch it in.
Who was in
Oh, the
creative?
ref just ate it.
Who was in creative going, look, Brutus, we don't really have anything for you, but we still want to use you. You're going to be the man with no name.
Kevin
No,
Sullivan.
what happened was
Kevin
they're like, we have nothing for you,
Yeah.
Brutus. Hogan walked in and was like, no, brother. No, brother.
He's going to be the man with no name.
Am I
We
gonna
were
get a
gonna call
paycheck?
you the man.
Well,
We
yeah.
were gonna call you the man with no talent,
No
but we
talent.
thought
right.
that hit it too much on the head, so we're just gonna call you the man with no name.
You know,
We're going
Nate,
to call you the big booty daddy.
Nate, the
Hey,
next show,
he was
the
probably okay with that as long as his name was on the paycheck.
the next show that we do, I'd like to debunk the Dungeon of Doom if we could.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dungeon of Doom.
That,
'Cause
that
that-
whole debacle.
Oh, Ted, you hit him right into the tag. Bad move.
I
You
mean,
missed it.
when you think about it, after they brought Brutus back as the
Oh,
booty
kicked him in the
man,
nuts.
Hogan said that Brutus was always a spy in the Dungeon of Doom. But if I recall, Brutus was the beginning of the Dungeon of Doom.
Yes.
So how could you be spying in your own?
And the whole thing, the whole
Hulk Hogan, come
thing
in
was a
now.
train-
Stop Hulkamania.
That's a 12 count.
the whole thing was a train wreck anyway, because
Right.
the only reason it
That
even
was one.
existed was for Kevin
at Jimmy.
Sullivan to stoke
Oh,
Hogan's
crying
ego
out
to
loud.
keep him happy.
Jimmy, pull him over. Come on.
You know,
Oh, look
like
at
like
I was
Brutus.
dressed like Beetlejuice.
Brutus automatically knew that Kevin Sullivan was going to take over the group and bring in all those guys. Like, really? Made no sense.
ridiculous.
This stupid little circus midget's gonna try to end Hulkamania. I know it.
Right. Andre the Giant couldn't stop Hulkamania, but Kevin Sullivan
Oops.
will.
Here comes Danny Davis.
Giant.
Dangerous Danny Davis.
How
He wasn't
about
supposed to be a
the
ref
fact-
anymore?
I love Bobby the Brain going, wait, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Like everyone is like, oh, that's a good win. And then you got Macho Man. I'm not sure about this.
DQ.
Nobody's sure about this, Randy.
I'm an announcer. Yeah.
This is a stupid finish.
I would have loved for the finish to have been Randy Savage jumping into the ring and just beating the shit out of Hogan for no unexplained reason.
That would have been fucking great.
Hogan,
Yes.
and then to make it even better, Hogan leaves to WCW the next day, so there's even more of no explanation.
And then Macho Man runs in and beats his ass in WCW too.
Right. It's just a vicious cycle.
Double no sell.
It's just a vicious cycle of Macho Man beating the shit out of Hogan.
He follows him to Japan. I'm here, dig it.
Yeah. You thought you were going to get away from me, brother.
And that fan is in the crowd. I'm here too.
Yeah. Look, Rocky,
So
I'm
guys-
here.
Quick
Wave.
interesting note for y'all. How come, let's see if anyone knows, how come they can only make Danny Davis figures and no other referee right now?
That's a good question.
I have
That's a
no
damn
idea.
good question.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I'm
Because
guessing-
Danny Davis is actually considered talent as a wrestler, not a referee.
Oh,
So he's under a Legends deal as a wrestler,
Huh.
Okay.
okay.
Interesting.
where referees they're all actual employees and not just contractors.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if you guys get this insight, get this joke or not. And if they made a Hebner, the Hebners would just make a bootleg version and sell it out of their trunk.
Right.
So
Right. They'd be selling bootleg versions. But I mean, all right, Magic, I agree with you. That's a great point as to why they're not making them. But you mean to tell me if they would have went to like Mike Chioda or Charles Robinson, like, dude, we want to make a wrestler review, they would have been like, oh no, I'm not getting paid enough.
You know what?
They're not playing Brutus
He
the
would
song.
have said, as long as you don't put me in this 2-pack again like this, I
Right.
will be fine.
Right.
Put me with us as a dummy. Thank you.
he looks like he's been pantsed by a bully.
I mean, that's the whole point. He's a wrestling dummy. That's Charles Robinson.
I'm gonna be honest. It looks like a really bad sex doll. It doesn't look like a wrestling dummy.
Hey, Kenny Omega would wrestle that.
He would,
That's what they call it. It's a rip-apart training dummy.
but yet it's Charles Robinson.
It's Charles Robinson.
Like if they
I'm
would have went
surprised Brutus didn't give Hogan a handy right in the middle of the ring.
right. Thank you for one last
The
payday.
best
Hogan.
thing, the
Yeah.
best thing is as Hogan's posing and dancing, Brutus is applauding him and watching him.
Yeah. Yes.
He's very
Yes.
awkward.
God, I love you.
Magic loves anything. Hogan come out and go, brother, I'm going to take a dump in the ring. And Magic's like, yay, Hogan. Yeah. He's
Hey,
all right,
Rocky.
brother. I'm sitting on the toilet, brothers.
As far as I'm concerned, all this trash represents you fans.
Yep. The New World Organization, brother. And you're like, no, it's the New World Order.
You said it wrong.
You know, Hole and
That was a
Nash were
great
like,
day.
you know, Hole and Nash were like, we got to get rid of this fucking guy as quickly as possible. After he did that,
Swear
Well,
to
they
God,
didn't,
this
did they have an official name at that point yet, though? I don't think they did.
Yeah,
Until the
well,
next night.
he said New World Order at the pay-per-view,
Yeah, and then he said organization.
and then the following night on Monday Night Nitro, he goes the New World Organization. So
No,
I
he
think
said it during that promo. He called it the New World Organization.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought he
did.
said it during the pay-per-view. I thought he said
He
New
did
World
it during
Order.
the Bash at the Beach promo. He said organization too.
Wow.
He said both. Yeah.
So
You
I
know,
don't
I
think
have
they
to say
have
that
it
was
then, yeah.
that was a great day. That was
You
a very
didn't know
good
when
day.
you first watched it because you didn't know it was going to be the New World Order, right? Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
but as you got older, you're like, yeah, you cringe. You're like,
And what we call this, folks, in the business is called the time killer.
Mhm. Hey,
Yeah.
Rocky, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I I don't know why, but you said a Hogan, Beefcake Hogan hand job, and I just thought Handy Mania is running wild. So I just want to give you credit for that.
Uh-oh.
Handy Mania's run wild.
They left their briefcase.
What's in it?
Dildos. Nope.
It's Brutus's career.
Brutus is like, please be my payday. Please be my
Yeah.
payday.
Would have been
What's
funny
in
if
the
there was a
briefcase?
jelly rod or something
Superhuman.
in there.
There's a sandwich and $25. Brutus, take it and go.
Yeah, he just pocketed the
No.
sandwich. I didn't see him take the money.
It's Brutus's French
What?
toast.
There's a brick?
My
Some
phone
tax
fell over.
document.
My phone fell over. How hard I'm laughing.
He should have saved it for future knee surgery.
Yeah, he could have used that.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
I love the what? It's a brick.
Guys, I'm reliving this as in my childhood, and I love it.
I thought about Brad.
Imagine
I thought about Brad Pitt.
Yes, yes.
I thought
What's in the box? What's in
Brad
the
Pitt in
box?
Seven. What's in the box?
Oh my God, there's a brick in there. No wonder Brutus needed a face mask.
Always taking
Alright.
a shit during
Who
that
wants a
match.
guy.
single? Who wants a
I'm back.
single?
I had to go take a beefcake and wipe my Brutus.
Yep.
Oh, you had to deliver some booty beef.
So
Yeah.
during the Hogan tag team match, what were you doing under the ring? Oh, I was taking a shit in a bucket. Oh, that's great.
Singles.
That was WWF Petty Cash at $1 Million Man carried around too. Supposedly Petty Cash.
And they had a lot of
Natalie.
petty cash back then.
Oh, they did. They used to
Oh,
fly on personal jets
Anita
to-
Cole. Anita Cole.
Natalie.
Natalie Cole.
Natalie
Yeah.
Cole.
I'm like, who the
Not
hell's
Anita
Anita
Cole.
Cole?
I don't know. Who's this guy?
Who the fuck is Anita Cole?
Might
Look at
be
this guy. How you doing?
it might be Michael Cole's sister.
Have you met my son, Vince Russo?
That guy's
Bro,
probably
you're
in
gonna love
prison. He's probably in prison. Whoever he is.
Did we ever find out what his name was?
It's like
Flash
Dan He's got pointy eyebrows. I don't trust that.
Mhm.
I guarantee this guy embezzled money. Whoever he is.
Looks like John Gotti.
Listen here, Pettingill.
I know where the bodies are buried, yo.
His toupee's about to blow off. Fuck.
And then a couple weeks later, UWF comes to see you.
Gold, did you watch that behind
I
you?
did. I
that
watched
Dark
the
Side Ring?
watch party last night.
Yeah, it was actually pretty damn good. I didn't know Herb Abrams was that big of a party animal.
I didn't know that he was
How did
naked.
you not
so much.
know?
I was used to that.
No, because
People
I
are like,
watched.
when you walked in and he was naked, you're just like, man, that's Herb.
Right, it's her. Seeing
There he
Brian
is.
Blair.
Herb.
Yeah, there's the
Absolutely
best ever.
perfect.
Seeing Brian Blair be like, oh, well, it's Herb. He was naked. It was no big deal. I'm like, really?
Watching that one guy, he's like, the worst thing that Herb ever did was die. You're like, what? Other than not pay people and all other
The worst thing
stuff, like, what?
the worst thing Brutus Beefcake ever did was
Was,
live. David,
What did
you
I-
say you love Jackmate. You're about to get him.
What I
Here's
missed?
the best natural.
He said the worst thing.
Rocky's like what I miss.
Oh, shit, that's so fucked up.
We are looking at the best natural bell to bell in ring wrestler of all time, Kurt Hennig, right now.
Absolutely.
And in
I
case you
agree
didn't
with
know,
that.
in case
Maybe
you
not
didn't know,
Yeah.
this is where he flubs the promo too, and he laughs at himself. He's like,
Yeah.
I know, I am. You try to say I'm Mr. Perfect, and I'm going to fight the exorcist.
Razor Ramon, that would have been a good match.
You know what? You say that about Perfect, and this is what I will say. For someone whose character was based around how Perfect
That
full of
statue's
himself
a
as
better
he is,
worker than Beefcake, by the way.
Mr. Perfect is the least selfish wrestler in the ring of all time. He is willing. I mean, watch how hard he works to put over his opponents.
The only two guys I will say are better salesmen in the
Look
ring.
at that one on the left. Holy
Maybe
shit.
not better. Maybe not better, but the only guys
I know
would put
Lexus
in his-
Peck on the left looks good. Oh yeah, her.
Man.
The only guys I would put in his atmosphere as far as selling magic are Shawn Michaels and Ricky Morton.
Oh, you know, I agree. And Ricky is a hell of a seller, but The difference
Yeah,
I
but-
see between him and
but-
Perfect
But
is Perfect works to make his opponent look amazing. And
Yes.
that's a hard way to get over. Ricky is awesome about making it look like it hurts, making it look like he's in pain. But Perfect takes it an extra step where he makes his opponent look, whatever the move is, a punch, he makes it look like it's a finishing move. I mean, he's just Perfect, so great.
Yes,
um,
for sure.
I'll give you the Ricky Morton thing. Somebody else you guys should add to the list is Rick Steamboat. He was a hell of a. He sold fantastic as well.
I agree.
I agree 100%.
Like I've read that Steam, and I've even heard him talk about it. Steamboat. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm just
Oh
thinking
man,
about Cisco right
I'm sorry.
now.
What?
But
Aaron,
Motorboating
What?
someone?
hey,
Aaron.
I have that.
Now this
Why- yeah,
this
why
gimmick,
did
this
you
part
get-
of the gimmick I love. This
why
is
did you
awesome.
get the Chris Benoit vibrator?
Huh?
Why
did
wouldn't you get the Chris Benoit vibrator?
Why did you get the Chris Benoit vibrator?
It was.
Why wouldn't he?
Be-
Yeah.
because the girls call it the crippler.
I heard the girls call it the killer.
Oh,
Well,
Too soon, Archie. Too soon. Not kidding.
So wait a minute. Rocky can say half breed. I can't make fun of Chris Benoit.
Oh,
Archie, you can't say that.
You gotta wait another 10 years,
can't.
sir.
Nobody said he could say it. He just did.
He just did.
Hey, Mark, how are you, buddy?
Archie, how could you?
Lex definitely looks like $1 million here. Who in their right mind would ever say,
Mini Rick is offended. See
if
his
you
face?
saw Lex
He's
Luger
offended.
now, that's the same man?
Woo.
Look
Who,
at
the
that.
Miss Elizabeth killer?
the only thing the same size on him is his head.
Man,
That was mean. I know.
He killed Miss Elizabeth. It's not mean.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Archie. Thank you.
You ever-
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
about that, how every time Luger was riding like this, everywhere
How am
Luger
I
was-
not the most offensive person on this phone call? Jesus Christ.
Now, the only thing that doesn't look right about this is he needs Bobby right behind him.
yeah.
Bobby was
Well,
still
and
trying to get over
Bobby-
getting over off the
And
camera.
this is when they were trying to
Bobby
keep
stopped.
the face didn't work for me.
Bobby stopped managing because of his neck. He didn't want to. He figured if he couldn't go out and bump for his guy and stuff like that, then
Mhm.
he didn't.
They
he
wouldn't
didn't
give him
wanna
the
do it,
time
so-
off, and they wouldn't help him get the surgery. That's why he had to wait until he went to WCW to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that Vince fucked Bobby over on. And then every time Bobby was ready to go get it, well, I need you with Ric Flair. Like, really? I'm going to get my surgery. No, travel with
Right.
Flair.
He acted like Ric Flair so badly needed a mouthpiece. I mean, granted, Bobby
is
was
also
great for Rick,
all-
but
This is also the only one of two times that Lex Luger was, entertaining. The narcissist gimmick was cool, and Lex Luger from like 89 to 91 was entertaining. Anything else he ever did fucking sucked.
And these two have a good match, by the way.
like
I was
killing Miss Elizabeth.
never really a Luger fan.
Luger's like
No.
the Forrest Gump of professional wrestling.
Yeah, it was just kind of, he had the look, but not the.
Don't let Buff hear you say
Still.
that.
Why?
I know.
Is
I
Bubba
don't
that
have
big of
nothing
friends
against
with
him.
Luger?
It's just that I wasn't a
Buff
big
is
fan.
really close to Luger.
Really? I didn't know that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll let him hear me say it. Lex Luger's the Forrest Gump of professional wrestling.
No, you're fine. He's not going to hate on you for that. I was just joking. No.
I know. I'm just saying Vince screwed him, but Brett screwed Brett.
And Lex killed
Reading
Liz.
what comments people are saying.
Well, Archie,
Whatever
Luger's
trademark
probably
NP
did the
is.
drugs too.
Guys, I know it's very on in this, though, or very early on, and I know it's perfect, but Lex is actually working pretty decent so far.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Luger was good when he was in there with somebody that
That could
could
carry
lead him
him.
along.
Like, I guess it's
Oh,
been so
I
long
hated
since
the
I've
whole
seen this.
narcissist gimmick, though. I hated it. So that's my opinion.
I liked the narcissist gimmick.
hate it.
Here's why the narcissist gimmick was so good. Luger didn't have to talk. When he talked, he ruined his whole image.
Get it.
You know it was you, Nathan. We can see the picture, I think. Trademark NP, Nathan Pepple.
Okay. I don't know who Nathan Pepple is, but that's cool.
Nathan Pepple is one of the best people on our.
He's
Facebook
one of my
groups.
boys. He's
Okay.
admin
Well-
in the nerd closet.
Nice to meet you, Nathan Pepple.
Rocky, we all knew him before you admitted him in the nerd closet. Don't act like he's just known because of the nerd closet. No, I'm just kidding, Rocky.
It's Pep.
By the way,
I call him Nathan People.
my autocorrect always makes it Nathan People, and I'm like, who the hell's Nathan?
Yeah,
People?
mine does that
We're
too.
just ordinary people.
Can we not chat either, or we just in
We
the video?
can't. We can't
Damn.
chat at all. It's a stupid feature. I wish they had a feature where we could chat. That'd be cool.
Love you, Pep. We're watching WrestleMania 9.
Or as David Gold calls it, the second worst WrestleMania ever.
Yeah, it still is. They're not going to change my mind on it. I'll agree with some facets of it are good, and some parts are good. And like I said, there are like 100 worst pay-per-views in general. This is just the second worst WrestleMania.
Where did Nate go?
To get more beer, probably, or to pee.
God.
Probably both. Probably to pee
Probably
and
both.
beer.
Well, if
Put
he's
it on
going to
him.
pee, he does need more beer. Exactly.
See, Nathan Pepple agrees. Cool venue. I mean, it looks cool.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, yeah.
Aesthetically, it's amazing.
God, I love Perfect. Perfect's so good.
So, Magic, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Hogan leaves, and
Gotcha.
they're grooming Lex Luger to be the new Hogan with his whole Lex Express experiment.
Gotcha.
Did he fail the gimmick, or did the WWE fail him in not letting him get over more?
I would say it's Lex.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not like Lex had a spot in wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
Right.
he shouldn't have been a wrestler. He's not the main man. You know, that's just not him.
Right.
And plus, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, just like you said earlier, when you find something, and I guess you could say that's a little on WWF because they put him in that role.
Right.
The narcissist was perfect, just like you said. He didn't have to talk.
Right.
All he had to do was flex. He had to be
Look good.
his ass. Look how pretty I am. You all
Right.
So I'll give you that. I'll say it's a little bit of both. I know that's an easy way out, but Lex Luger didn't need to be in that point or in that place. But ultimately, it's up to a talent to get themselves over, no
I
matter
agree.
what.
and that's
agree.
what I'd say. That's what I'd say on. I can understand why some promoter would be like, I have this Hulk Hogan guy. He's this, and this, and now he's worn off, and now somebody that looks like Lex Luger comes in, and you're like, holy shit, this guy, honestly, build wise, looks better than Hulk Hogan did,
Right.
But where Hogan gets not enough credit is the fact that actually, honestly, Hogan wasn't a bad wrestler. Okay.
Japan. Mm-hmm.
Hogan we were talking about like Ricky Morton and Steamboat and all them. Hogan was a hell of a fucking seller.
100%. 100%.
Right.
Like Hogan does not get Hulk Hogan doesn't get enough credit for being as good of a wrestler as he actually was.
He could cut a damn good promo, and that's where
Yeah.
Lex was not good at.
If
But
they brought
like-
Lex in with either Bobby Heenan or if they brought Lex in with like a storyline where the $1 Million Man's going after Hogan and he brings Luger in as one of
Right.
his disciples.
Like Luger was
the narcissist. I would have loved it.
Well, I mean, you guys mentioned 89 to 91 for Luger in WCW. He was with Harley Race. Again, another great manager. If they would have kept him with somebody like Harley Race, Bobby Heenan, or $1 Million Man, Luger might have been $1 million and been a world champion for years to come.
Yeah, because he would have been Hogan's nemesis.
Right. When Hogan...
Luger as the face is nowhere near the talent Hulk Hogan was.
No,
When they
and that
turned his
shows.
face and put him against Yokozuna is when they screwed him up.
Right.
Because people were like, oh, it's basically just a knockoff Hogan. It's the great value Hogan,
Right.
So
They put him on that stupid fucking bus.
right when you
Bus
think
was stupid.
all of all the flag carriers, and I mean the big guys at the time, and it's the exact same way. Why was Hogan so huge? For three things. One, he could sell. And I've seen parts of professional wrestling clinics from a lot of different people, And when they're talking about selling, still to this day, they tell you to go back and watch some Hogan video.
Right.
The second thing is charisma. Hogan had so much charisma, especially for the 80s and all that over-the-top stuff. So now the reason I bring that up is if you look at any flag barrier, whether heel or face, they all had amazing charisma. I mean, name any good one. Ric Flair, Sting, Hogan, even today's guys, all of them full of charisma. Lex just didn't have that.
No, you're absolutely right.
He tried. He did have a good fire up when, he could, and he could flex real quick, but that was the
right. But unless he was in the ring with a guy like Perfect or Sting, he fell flat on his face too.
And this torture rack was dick. That was a dick finish. That was a horrible finish.
All right,
torture rack was stupid.
They put him against Hogan when Hogan was at
What
the
about
height
the
of
flying
the NWO.
forearm?
The forearm made no sense.
Well, that was fine because he had a metal plate in there.
Well, all right, but hold on. He didn't use it anymore.
The match itself here, did you guys see that amazing sunset flip that Kurt Hennig did?
Yep.
Guys, I won't lie. I'm sitting here watching. It's a pretty good match in my opinion.
It is.
This is a good match.
It's a perfect
this
match.
This is a good WrestleMania.
Meltzer gave it 1 1/4.
No, Nate, come on. Or can I try to squeeze that in there?
Wait a minute. Did you just say that Meltzer gave this 1 1/4 stars?
1 1/4.
So we've established tonight that Vince Russo and Dave Meltzer are fucking idiots.
Right.
I mean,
in my opinion,
right.
and I'm sure it's perfect. I'm sure the majority of it's because perfect, but it's not a bad match by any means.
It's not.
It's not, but I think the reason it got the rating that it got is that a lot of people weren't going for what Luger was throwing out there, and they didn't like Hennig as a face.
Yeah,
so
that's
the problem.
You guys were
slingshot.
I could tell I came into the back end of a conversation about Luger when I came back. But one thing that I wanted to bring up is I always thought that you look at when Luger left the WWF in '95, I think that his career could have been saved. His WWF career could have been saved if after the Made in the USA Luger run was over, instead of teaming him up with Bulldog and putting him in that ridiculous tag team, if they would have put him back in his lime green or red tights and just let him go back to being heel Lex Luger and have him work a program.
Right, let him be the total package.
Yes.
What?
Him and Bret Hart, I think, could have done big business.
I'll say this:
Luger would have had that animosity where
to play on it, Nate. To play on it, it's like he should have been the guy that sold out to Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to me, the best thing would have been through the whole thing, through the whole thing. Tatanka was like, "Did you sell out? Did you sell out?" And he's like, No, I didn't. And then at SummerSlam, he should have just been like, "Yeah, it was me the whole time. I was just lying to this guy."
Yeah, you give him a piece like DiBiase, Luger's instantly over as a heel instantly because everyone hates Ted, right?
I just never understood how him and Bret go over the top rope for the Royal Rumble. They're Royal Rumble champions. Luger gets screwed by Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania 10. Bret wins the title. Bret redefends against Yonko and wins and retains the title. Why was Lex no longer in the title picture?
Because Vince realized that Luger.
No, I know that. But see what you just said. Look at the perfect storyline there. Okay, You didn't take me seriously when I was the narcissist. You didn't take me seriously when I was kissing your babies and smacking your hands. Now your beloved Bret Hart has the title. Well, guess what?
Oh,
now
I'm flying forearm.
Now I'm gonna kiss you. Now I'm gonna kiss your hands and slap your babies.
Right.
And he would have been like the perfect guy to put that. He would have been the perfect guy if you would have put him in the $1 Million Corporation. Right. He would have been the perfect guy to put that fucking $1 Million belt on.
Yep. Agreed.
I agree 1,000%, and I believe he should have been brought in with the $1 Million Man. And
so this is Lex perfect. This is where he needs to be. being an
That's what
asshole.
we know that Yoko's your favorite wrestler.
Being an
of all-
asshole, exactly, and not
Taking his-
talking that much.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. Put your foot on him after you knocked him. You took a cheap shot and flex your muscles. How awesome you are!
Right.
Now just walk away and make all the crowd hate you and cuss you and everything else.
And
The
now we're about
problem
to
is
get a really cool
anybody who
angle.
had a WCW following with Luger, also on top of that, didn't take him seriously as this gimmick. That's why Vince changed him over to the Made in America bullshit. They were like, "Oh, Luger was such a huge baby face before this," and comes in.
But he
with
really
this-
wasn't. When he left WCW and came to the WWF, he was leaving Harley Race.
Yeah, but he wasn't like heel. He was like neutral.
No, he just got done beating the shit out of Sting.
Yeah, but people didn't still though. Vince should have done it. I put him with Ted, and he would have had super heat more than
That's
he
what
had.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He would have
You
had
brought him
way
in.
more heat.
Look, had they made it that Mr. Perfect was an active wrestler, and you would have
Here's
had
one of
Flair,
Here's one of the 27 times they tried to start a Shawn Michaels Mr. Perfect feud.
right?
Like that never got off the ground with these guys.
But if Mr. Perfect would have been active, Ric Flair was just coming in, right? And here's Lex Luger, because if you remember, that's what Bobby used to say: if one of the ones on the left don't get you, the one on the right will. Now you've got three of the best in the world. You throw a Scott Hall as Razor Ramon with them, you've got a 4 horsemen in the WWF, and you don't got to call them that.
Guys, as being a fellow Texan, though, I'd like y'all all to notice how Texan Shawn Michaels is here in the backstage.
With his jeans tucked into his boots. And
He's from San Antonio.
I
Heck yeah.
thought women read play girls.
Guys, my
no.
phone. I'm getting an incoming call. I'll be right back.
Oh, Vince is calling Archie
Archie's
again.
important,
Oh no.
One of those.
Shut down that We Can't Wrestle Asylum shit, pal.
God damn it!
Oh, here's a good Macho Man and the Brain getting into it.
What a fucking waste of Macho Man's talent, man. Vince is like, I'm going to put him as a commentator. He's too old.
I totally agree. He should have. Now, see, you and I actually agree on something, David, in this. That I know you say that you think the main event of this pay-per-view should have been Brett and Savage.
Yep.
I always thought we agree on the show. We agree on the match, but we don't agree on the show, I guess, or hindsight. Because I remember back then in '94 thinking Brett and Savage would have been a great main event for WrestleMania X in Madison Square Garden.
That would have been great too. My thought process is instead of Yoko and Brett 2 years in a row, I would have taken Macho and Brett 2 years in a row. The first year Macho wins. Second year Brett gets his belt finally. Macho puts over the new guy. That's what I thought should have happened.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that. I think that would have been a great series.
And I mean, Yoko could have been an IC champ, or Yoko could have been that heel that maybe had a couple opportunities at the belt, or maybe feuded with Taker like he did. That's fine. But I don't feel like he should have held that belt.
All right, guys, quiet. It's the best match on the card.
You got to be kidding me.
All right.
And here we go with the second of my three. This is just, oh God. And you know what?
I love his outfit.
Taker tries. He
the
really
biggest
tries.
onesie in the history of the world.
Yep.
I feel so bad.
I mean,
I'm naked.
He's blown up walking into the ring. He's in that
I feel
Vegas
so
heat.
bad. I feel
The best
so bad
thing-
for Taker from 92 to 95 because they just threw every garbage fucking.
Archie wants back in, but this
I
guy,
know.
this poor human being has to be in this fucking onesie in this heat, in this Vegas heat.
and he was super over at El Gigante. I'm just saying, like, the fans loved him.
And
He
and
wasn't
fucking
total shit on Velcro either in WCW. But then
Yes,
you
he
bring
was.
him in this, and
Yes, he
shit on
was.
Velcro.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He wasn't shit in WCW?
No, not like he was here. No.
He was dressed like a Power Ranger.
I don't care what you say.
okay.
He was way better than in WCW. I didn't say he was
Archie,
great.
I agree with you. That's one me and Gold agree on. I think he was never Never anything.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think
I
he
didn't
was
say
that
he
great.
was great. I said he was
Here's-
better in WCW. I never
The
said
man
he
is
was
Here-
great.
David. The man is showing his ass on national television.
Now
right
this
now in
I'll
that
love.
onesie.
Look at him with the vulture. This I love.
Follow-
This is a
Yeah.
good intro.
I mean, look at the pop he gets in some
Um,
of his matches in WCW, and then look at the shit they put him in WWF. I never
Just-
said
and here's
he was
where I'll
great.
agree. With,
Doesn't matter.
here's where I'm gonna agree with David. I don't necessarily. He was used better in WCW because if you
That's what I'm
notice in
saying.
in WCW they surrounded him with others, like they put him with Sting and Junkyard
Right.
Dog, and
What I'm
they
saying.
didn't ever put him out there by himself like this.
And they
Well,
had him
right,
work.
but-
They had him work with like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying the Undertaker isn't a great worker, but the Undertaker isn't going to go out there and fucking take a bump off the top rope. It like when he worked with Flair, it looked great because this guy's like 7'9" and he's throwing Flair off the
No,
top rope.
I do agree with you guys. Yes, but
So El
he was-
Gigante is better than Giant
That's
Gonzalez.
what I never said he was great or
no. I agree. I understand what you're saying.
look at the pops he got when he went in the ring against the heels. The fans liked him, but in WWF it's garbage. The whole thing.
But he was only brought in to be slaughtered by the Undertaker. He was
I
never
get
going to be
that,
able to. Yeah, you know what I mean.
slaughtered him in-
Look, you can see his mangina.
Yeah, you can see it.
You have him come out in a fucking onesie looking like a leper.
listen,
Guys,
Hey,
guys,
hey,
wait a minute.
Onesie!
Two big stories coming out of WrestleMania 9. Giant Gonzalez has a really hairy butt crack and no penis. There you go.
That's terrible.
If you freeze frame on his ass,
He was
It's the-
Caitlyn Jenner before Caitlyn Jenner was
no, guys, if you
Once
freeze
again,
frame
I
on the
would like
back
to
of that
comment
suit,
that all comments are not exactly the ideas, views of the podcast that you are listening to.
if you go back and freeze frame on his ass, it's the Triple H symbol.
Why are you freeze framing on his ass?
No, if you look at the Giant Gonzalez's ass, it's the
He wants
Triple H
something for the
symbol.
tub later.
Why are you framing his ass? What's going on here?
One thing I love is look how small Taker looks.
Right, and he's not really that small. Giant Gonzalez only has him by a head. If you look, he's
Right
rated.
about
it's
Giant
not-
Gonzalez's head. Which one are you looking at, buddy?
I don't know. I'm not quite
Taker was
sure.
Taker was so small.
Everybody have a mullet back then?
Everybody had a mullet back then. Yes.
Jeez, mullet mania.
Rocky, did you have a mullet back then? Be honest.
Negative.
Negative. Okay.
I think I had my head shaved pretty much for sports.
Guys,
That
he
was a-
sold so bad. He's
I
literally
was
selling
going-
Here's
more
the one
bigger than
spot I
anyone.
think that's cool. This is the one spot I like in this. It's the jerk from the ropes because he's finally high enough.
Look at Magic trying to make the best. Magic's like the best announcer making like gold out of shit. Like, oh, look at that top rope
Here
maneuver.
it comes.
Oh, he's choking him out with the chloroform. Oh, it stinks in here.
Did he just hit him like low?
They should have made this a triple threat match and brought the Great Khali out. This would have been
This
And
does
Kamala.
give me my fond memories of my classic Jacks with real fur variant of.
oh, that's a sexy figure.
You
But I
should probably
guarantee
sell
you-
that.
I can name at least 12 Hasbros that should have never been made, and they should have made other Hasbros.
This
and
is one of
Giant
them.
Gonzalez is one of them.
So you mean
Hey,
Giant Gonzalez, Repo Man? Maybe
I
the
would have
Mountie?
rather had a Harvey Whippleman Hasbro than Giant
Right.
I
Gonzalez.
agree.
Hey.
90% of Series 11 gone.
Hey,
Would have
Magic.
never made them.
Magic.
Yes.
Did the fur on that figure stink like Stinkor from the?
Well, it's still MOC, so I can't tell you.
What about the real fur on George
All
Animal
right.
Steel?
All right.
That was actual fur. That was actually his hair from
Someone-
his back.
Someone explained to me when the Giant Gonzalez debuted at the Royal Rumble, there was fur on his outfit. Who said this is no good? We got to change it to just being a onesie.
Yeah, good call.
You know?
Probably take.
We want you comfortable. We want you comfortable.
Right.
I got backstage and said, "You need to give me better matches next year."
Yeah.
What
Fuck.
are you doing?
Fuck. Give me Mark Henry. Taker, Mark Henry
Yeah.
doesn't work here yet.
Oh,
Shit.
having this
Taker Mark
having
Henry
this match
actually wasn't that bad.
That's what I'm
Having
saying.
having
Have
this
y'all
match
have
at
y'all
Wrestle-
ever heard Bruce Pritchard talk about these couple years of WrestleMania as an Undertaker?
No.
He's basically like he's like he'll make up some crap how it was good, and then he'll be quiet, and then he'll be like, "Yeah, Taker should hate me."
Vince is backstage. That's a 5-star match.
It's such good shit.
Everything. I jump rope, chloroform.
It's such good
Only
shit.
now it's strippers.
I hated this whole
Hey.
storyline.
It
Hey,
made no
Archie,
sense. Yes.
I just saw your Bray Wyatt message to me, so
Oh, okay.
a little bit ago, when Archie was out of the stream, he sent me a message that said, "Let me in."
Let me in. This made no sense because before this, The Undertaker had no dealings with Harvey Wippleman. So why was Harvey Wippleman looking to destroy The Undertaker?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. Maybe he called him a midget
know?
or something.
Like, okay, he beat Kamala before this, so I could have seen it being like Kamala's handler or Slick or someone who had a deal. You know what I mean?
He even messed up throwing the guy out of the ring.
Are you sure we're live in all three groups?
Yes, we are.
Live,
I've never seen a stream in Asylum where we at least get more than one person commenting.
Well, there's Cheap Heat going on.
Well, that's
In
closed an
Asylum.
hour ago.
Yeah. Steve Morand is live in the GWC.
Which is fine, but I've never still.
No,
only
I'm not
seen
making
one
fun of
comment.
anybody. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying there's so much going on right now at 12:43 at a.m. You know.
I've seen it through the We Can't Wrestle
How about
podcast.
that, how about
group.
that though? Ugh. That's
Are you
a-
sure we're live in the Asylum, Nate?
we're live on both YouTube.
Okay, are we live in the Asylum right now too, though?
We're not live in any of the Facebook groups. No.
I
Okay.
think the FCC just called my house and left a message.
Oh, that's why we don't have any comments. I'm sitting like, damn, are we that? No one fucking like us anymore?
No, they
Well,
like us.
that is correct. No one likes us, but we knew that before this ever started.
No one likes. No one
I'm like,
likes.
wonder
us.
we
No
I
one
could go
likes
live and
us.
just sit here and
My-
fart, and I'm going to do a glory hole, and I got
My-
21 viewers. You know.
Well,
It's
my ultimate goal here was to get people into the YouTube, so that's why I didn't put it in the Facebook groups because YouTube exclusive things will get us.
So
To
that's why
YouTube.
we're not getting any comments. You didn't put this on Facebook?
No, it's not on
Why-
fucking Facebook.
Jesus
Why-
Christ, Nate!
No, hold on. No. Shh.
He told us
If
he
my
wanted it on
goal-
YouTube.
If my goal is to build YouTube views because
Right.
YouTube pays and Facebook doesn't, why wouldn't I just put it in YouTube? As a
Because
business.
nobody's watching this on YouTube.
There are people watching on YouTube. They're just not commenting.
However, I posted that we were on YouTube in both Facebook groups.
He
Don't
did.
question me. Don't question me, Aaron.
Here it comes.
Well, it's not
Oh.
him.
I
It's
will
actually me.
question
Nate.
whatever I want to question.
I thought we were.
He just threw in May's underwear.
Oh,
Oh, this will do anybody in.
Live in
Whatever.
Asylum, and no one was commenting, and I'm like,
No.
Nate,
Next time I'll do the Facebook groups if you guys want to. But yeah, I did this exclusive in YouTube to try to get you.
Oh my God, what does he do? There's something on that rag.
Since we've kind of been on for
That
2.5
rag.
That's May Young.
hours,
That's May Young's
and
underwear.
Asylum
he's
used to
got
watch-
used toilet paper.
Harvey Wippleman gave him some underwear and told him to cover up.
Go ahead, David. I didn't hear you.
Can you, since we at least have maybe like 30, 40 minutes left, can we put the last little bit in the group? Is that possible? Or is it too late
I
now?
can do that. Yes. No, I can.
Now, shouldn't this
Maybe.
have been an ultimate disqualification?
It was a
smell it?
disqualification.
So the match ended as a disqualification?
Yeah.
Undertaker won by DQ, yeah.
Right.
That's why
I
he-
remember Undertaker winning straight out. I didn't remember it
He
being
came
a
back out, and they're like, the winner of the match is, but people were like,
Right.
all up in arms and shit.
When you look back at the streak, like half of it was pretty shit. The guys he beat. Or how he won.
Well, you
We
had
are
Jake and King
We are
Kong
now
Bundy.
live on every page
If they would have
We-
told me,
We are now live in every page on every group.
Wait a minute, are we even
Yep.
live in the era? Because I got to leave then. All right.
No, fuck.
Sorry.
No.
whoever told him that was going to look great on him should have been shot.
You're right, but that was probably Vince. He looks great as Tarzan. He's
No,
Tarzan.
that
And
was
whoever
Pat
thought it was a good
Patterson.
idea for everybody to wear togas was another bad idea.
And you
Pat
got
Patterson went to
you got
him.
an
Look,
airbrush
look, kid,
tape,
you got to
brother.
wear this.
All right, guys. So here's another Meltzer for you. That got the same rating as Lex Luger in Perfect.
Bull
lying.
crap.
You're lying.
1.25 stars, same rating.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
So now we have
There's little Jack Down with his
Now that
mullet
we-
and his.
now that we are in the Facebook groups, we have like 1,000 people live. Check out our YouTube
Really?
pages, guys. The Asylum, the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Check out our YouTube pages so you can see the full versions
Look at
of
him,
these YouTube-
fucking Dave Earl. They're up here.
of these YouTube shows. But welcome to everybody that's joining us on Facebook for WrestleMania 9.
We've been
It's been
sitting
nice
here.
to see you guys like 2.5 hours ago.
On YouTube, when I asked to come to YouTube,
I love how Aaron busts his balls and Nate like tries to twist it around. It's hilarious. Brotherly love. We're brothers. We're happy.
We've been
Happy
going.
that we're so-
We've been doing this
Don't-
rigmarole for 38 years.
We are fine. Great.
There's the other Hebner.
I'm just sitting there like, you know, where are the fucking comments? I'm like, God damn.
because apparently, as popular a service as it is, nobody uses YouTube. I guess.
I'm looking at
No,
the
they're-
lag.
Anyway,
No, Nate, they're all on MySpace.
Man, that's
Who's
a heck
your
of a
server?
lag.
Shit, is Tom live?
this is.
Oh, there's a
See,
really
we
bad
went-
lag, Rocky. You're never going to get over that.
So are they chanting Hogan right now?
Magic.
No, they're chanting hoagies.
Yeah, there's like at least 20-second lag from.
That's because I went on
Oh.
Facebook.
Yeah,
It's
that's,
bad.
that's
Oh,
what
here
happened.
comes Taker.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
StreamYard doesn't do well on Facebook. That's for sure.
What the
He's
fuck,
got the
Nate? Why are you
fart
putting this
spray.
on Facebook?
See,
Jesus Christ.
See,
Yeah, we're doing the WrestleMania
Nate's smarter than the
9
average
Paul
person.
Bearer. Paul Bearer's like, no, don't go in there.
They
Anybody-
stretchered the Undertaker out like he was dead, even though it was just chloroform. I mean,
let me put some chloroform on your face and let's see what happens.
I'm not gonna tell you to stretcher me out of the building.
You'll be waking up the next morning, bro.
You'll wake up in a tub, but you won't have no kidneys.
Yeah,
How did I get here? Oh, I chloroformed you. Really?
Oh,
I didn't
look at
think
that.
you-
my kid,
Um,
my
can't even
my
sell
kidney and my
Taker
ass will be
line.
hurting if David Gold did that to me.
He'd wake up, his ass would be in the air. What happened?
David, what are you doing? Nothing. Go back to sleep.
Go to sleep. Where all my customs go? Oh, I don't know. It's a beautiful picture.
For those of you joining us in Facebook, either in the We Can't Wrestle or Asylum Facebook groups, welcome. We have been on YouTube for a couple of hours watching WrestleMania 9. I gave you a heads up, but you didn't join us. So
We blame you.
So he took over.
You guys.
We blame you.
I
It's your fault.
something 2
You
hours
bunch of
ago.
shitbirds, get on YouTube.
I'm sitting here like staring at it like, where are the fucking comments?
Yeah, see,
See, after you said that, everybody left. There's only one.
David thought he wasn't popular anymore. He was like, "Where the fuck are all the comments? What
Like,
I do?"
I go on the
He's
glory
somebody-
hole, or just farting, just
look,
sitting here.
look, now comments are popping up. Are we doing a watch along? Yo,
Who
people are
is that?
saying shit now.
So
I
let's
know.
go back. This
Sit here and there's like 25 viewers, you know.
It just says Facebook user. Who the fuck is that?
You have to watch the stream. I hate that shit. StreamYard needs to fix that. All right, Facebook user, yo, what's up?
All right, guys.
That could be 40 people that I know. That say, yo.
This is what
Facebook
we've been waiting
users
for all day.
Facebook
Ugh.
user is our number one fan.
It's that half breed guy. He's like, oh, finally, my
You can't say
time.
that.
He's
Hey,
like,
you can't say that. That's
Rocky's like, can we
uncalled
edit that
for.
off the YouTube channel,
Now,
please?
see,
That's uncalled for.
viewers,
I swear
if
to
you would
you.
have been viewers, if you would have been watching on YouTube, you would have got that joke. All right.
I swear to you, I'm going to make a shirt that says #halfbreed and send it to
Oh,
Rocky.
poor hacksaw.
I promise you, Rocky Turner will have that shirt before the month is over.
Fuck you,
What?
Archie. It's your biggest rival. Is what the Facebook
Oh
Poor
God,
hacksaw.
is it Josh Blevins?
It might be Chevy Coates.
If
Is it
it's
that
Chevy,
Dove guy?
maybe. Either way, I'm not happy.
Imagine what
Aaron-
Yokozuna's nuts smelled like.
Nate,
Chicken teriyaki.
Things that make you go.
Teriyaki.
Somebody
Boiled
said
Nate.
chicken more stuff.
Nate, Aaron was like the uninformed fan. Is it that Dove guy? Like he was like, he came off as also nonchalant.
Uh-oh.
Is it that Dove guy?
Well, I said, fuck you, Archie. It's your biggest rival. You told me you hate that Dove guy.
I don't hate Tyler Dove. That's not what I said.
Oh,
What I heard.
no. Salty nutsack.
Chicken teriyaki right to the chin.
Ugh.
Oh, it is Josh Blevins. You were right. Spot on.
Oh God, go to sleep, Blevs.
And Perez,
Always wants
there's
free
nothing
stuff.
to win here. There's nothing to
Mhm.
win.
Though Yokozuna does win best non-Japanese Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
This is what I'm going to do. You're going to put on 100 pounds and you're going to put your hair in a
Well, let
bun.
me tell you something, brother.
When Vince was pitching that gimmick to Rodney, do you think he played that Vapors song, turning
Oh,
Japanese?
cue Hulk Hogan back in.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm willing to believe that Yokozuna looked at him and go, "Really? You're turning me Japanese? I'm Samoan. I'm a dynasty."
No,
I
you're
mean, I
not.
can't be.
Japanese, and I'm going to put you with Mr. Fuji.
Oh, and then to make it
Also
even
not
worse,
Japanese.
he's
Like
right.
nobody involved in the entire thing was Japanese.
All right.
Nobody.
We're gonna make it even more racist. Afterwards, we're putting you with Jim Cornette,
Yeah.
and then
You're going to sit on people.
you're gonna team with a Canadian. Oh, Bret Hart? No, his brother Owen.
You're going to
What?
grow a beard.
Owen and Yokozuna is a great tag team.
I agree.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Blevins is over there making porn and gave you an ultimate preview, Rocky. Oh, I'm sorry. That's fire
I'm over here.
Why did Rocky turn his head like he was gonna see something? What? Like what were you looking
Well,
for?
we're on the screen over here too.
Oh, okay.
It's way off. Way
I'm
off.
over here making fire magnets. Just ask Rocky. He got an ultimate preview. Oh, okay.
I changed it to porn, Archie. I made it funny.
Oh no, yeah, but nothing Blevin says is funny.
What the fuck is a fire magnet?
What's a
That-
frack?
Check out that one.
That's a
That's
fire
good
magnet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have his HBK. I have his flare. I have the one he made of me.
Guys, are y'all watching the Hogan interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
Yes.
just said, whether it's you or the Jap.
Oh, I never. Hey, in my defense, I did not tell him to say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I
You
did
did,
not.
Rocky. Yes, you did.
It's either you or the Jap. I want a title shot.
Now.
Best
Can you
magnet.
imagine?
Best magnet.
Yes, it is.
I had
Yes,
to
it
have
is.
that one.
Rocky also has the wrestling buddy to go along with that.
Good old sexy
Oh,
Rex.
yeah.
Him and I were going to do big things. I was going to be sexy gold. He was going to be sexy Rexy.
Rocky, you want to hear something funny?
It's a cool one.
Rocky, you want to hear
Yo,
something
shoot.
funny?
Yes.
You sent me a Rex magnet with a package that you sent me like 2 or 3 months ago. So I put it on my fridge, and I have my HBK magnet that Blevins made me and another couple other ones up there. About a week ago, my wife goes by the refrigerator and goes, "Who's that on our fridge?" I'm like, "That's HBK." She's like, "No, the other guy." I'm like, "That's me, because I have my mag on it. She's like, no, the guy with the weird expression with the curly hair. I'm like, you mean Rex? She's like, wait a minute, that's the guy that passed away last year? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why is there a dead man on her fridge? I'm like, because he was one of my best friends.
No
She was
reason.
like totally free.
No reason.
She was like totally free. She's like, why is there a dead guy on her fridge? Because he was like one of my closest friends in the group. So they're like,
Tell her it was a homage.
It'd be weirder if he was in it.
Yeah,
Right.
he was in the back guarding the
Right.
mayo.
Jesus Christ.
If he was in the crisper drawer, then we'd have questions.
right.
Why is Rex
Yeah.
guarding the grapefruit?
Sandwich.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who
I forgot,
the
I
hell
got
are
one
these
over
two
there.
guys fighting?
It is time for Bret Hart and Yokozuna.
So, quick story from what we
Go
heard
ahead.
from Bruce Pritchard. Mr. Fuji was basically the handler
Yep, that's
for
the one I have.
Yokozuna. And Yokozuna actually broke a toilet just by sitting on it, and Mr. Fuji had to pick the porcelain out of his rear end.
Oh God.
Another story, Mr. Fuji worked as a ticket taker at a movie theater in Tennessee before he passed away.
Really?
What he do? I know what he was doing. He was probably
He
salting,
also-
salting people's
The
popcorn.
rumor,
Enjoy
there's,
Star Wars.
there's also there's
Enjoy,
there-
enjoy Star Wars Episode 7, boys.
there's also there's also a rumor that he
I'm curious.
murdered his neighbor's dog and then fed it to him.
I can see that.
Pepper?
Vehicle 5 to the back.
Does anybody remember the old Coliseum videos that they were released that weren't pay-per-views, but it was like different matches from like Superstars or Monday Night Raw all
Yep.
put together, and then they would have like these in the middle segments. After Yokozuna re-won the world title from Hulk Hogan and King of the Ring, they had a segment with him and Mr. Fuji at like a Benihana, and he like eats like 1,000 pounds worth of food in one sitting. And I'm not. They actually filmed him eating all this rice and beef and shrimp. And as a kid, I remember going, "Wow, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen."
Of course, the guy comes out of the back. You go. No, you don't eat here any longer. You go out of
That's
here.
that's exactly
You
what
got-
happened. They present,
You eat too much. You go. You go.
they present Mr. Fuji with the bill, and Mr. Fuji go, "We don't
I
pay
ain't
this."
paying that.
And Mean Gene looks at him and goes, "Don't worry, I'll talk to Vince." I think that might have been the only time they slipped up and mentioned Vince McMahon as the owner.
Yeah, stop it.
And look
Now
at
this was
Brett kiss that belt goodbye.
Bye.
now Brett. This was Brett's first title reign, right? The one that he took from Flair on a house show in Canada,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then he gets it back at WrestleMania 10. Now you said Yokozuna was a 1-year champion. Technically, it wasn't 1 year because it was from King of the Ring to WrestleMania. Right. It was like 8 or 9 months.
Right, but if
It
it
was a
was
long
it
time.
was like a fucking year.
It felt like a year.
But did you really expect to see a 600-pound Japanese Samoan lose to like 1, 2, 3 Kid? I mean,
That my point once again is like I said, it should have been Macho Man and Bret.
Man, look at all that cottage cheese. Woo!
okay. But Macho Man was still in between and was leaving to WCW. Vince knew that.
That
Crush
wasn't
was a shit.
happening until around WrestleMania 10. Vince did not know that yet. He thought Macho was too old and made him an announcer.
Right.
He didn't
Okay.
know he
So,
was leaving.
all right. Now, except for Macho Man, who else was there to take the belt off of Bret or Yokozuna?
The point is Yoko shouldn't have had the belt. It should have been Macho and Bret for the belt, not Yoko.
Okay. But if Macho was not involved, who else could have fought Bret in this match?
This is what you had to go with if Macho wasn't involved.
Well, that's
Man,
what I'm
that's a big
saying.
ass.
Hey, Gold,
I didn't like his choice.
Gold,
That's
are
my
you just saying
opinion.
you wanted Macho because that'd be a cool match, or did they actually have any angle or something going on?
You would have had to put a story behind it, Magic. It wouldn't have just been, oh, let's just throw Macho in there. I'm saying I would have liked
So you're just fantasy booking because he wasn't even wrestling at this point.
the point, and that's because of Vince.
Well, technically, he was in the Royal Rumble that Yokozuna won to get the world title match.
the point of the matter is,
Oh, that's true.
yes, Magic, I am fantasy booking, but at the same token, the reason Macho wasn't wrestling wasn't of his own decision. That was Vince. It wasn't like Macho was like, oh, Vince thought he was too
No,
old.
you're right. I agree with you on that, Gold.
No, you're
There
right.
is a
But
reason
I
why
think
Macho didn't.
if you're thinking we need a replacement, it needs to be like who would you realistically pick here? That's what I want to know.
That's what I was asking you.
Wesley Kimbler says it should have been Taker.
Macho shouldn't have been put to the side.
Taker
That's
was
my
not ready
point.
to be a
Taker.
world champion.
Yeah, I think this is a
Taker,
little early for Taker.
Well, I'm just saying this guy said it. I was just saying his thought. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
saying
what-
it's
okay.
right.
I mean, I like it, and definitely Taker is always a good choice. I just think it's a little early in his WWF run for that.
Well, you
Right.
did have Taker feud with Hogan before this, though. So to his point, Taker did briefly have a feud with Hogan as the champion.
And
before
he
this.
was the champion for 3
Briefly.
seconds before they pulled
Yeah.
it away from him. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, to his
Or-
point, maybe that wouldn't have been bad, but you're right, it was early. But I think they should have had a story behind it. I would have done it this way, where Macho was training, and then at the Rumble, he's a surprise entrant. He wins the Rumble, and then he faces Brett at WrestleMania. You could have done it several ways.
Okay, well, okay, let's do this. We're going to say the Macho Man's in this, and I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't care either way. Who's the heel?
No heel. He's saying go
You
face
didn't
face.
need a heel. You didn't need a heel.
No.
You don't need a heel.
Why? They did
did
face face
face-
Hogan Warrior.
Face is butt. You got to have a heel. You got to have a
You
heel.
could have made Macho
don't
the heel
have
all
to.
day.
Savage.
Brett
Wow.
could have been the face. Savage could have
All
been the
right,
heel.
now
if you
now
want to
here
do it
was
that way.
my figuration here, David, Magic, Aaron. All right, no Macho, and you don't want to go with Yokozuna. Instead of having it be Lex Luger versus Mr. Perfect, you maybe put Mr. Perfect in with Bret Hart because they always had great matches.
That would have been a good thing too. But Yoko, to y'all's point, Yoko was the option, and that's fine. But I would have went with Macho Man, but that's my opinion.
Look,
Because my
Magic's
thing is,
gonna
it's
get
like
mad at me.
everybody can say how great of a match this would have been, or how great of a match that would have been, but you got to look at the story. Like if you're gonna go Brett, Macho Man, what is the story?
You could have had him attack Brett and come back as Macho King. You know,
Brett
could have
had
done-
Elizabeth first.
Right, Bret had lust in his eyes.
Plus,
could have done that.
him
could've.
and Flair double teamed her.
Magic's going to get mad at me. The only part I don't like about this, is, okay, Yoko destroys Brett and wins. Why did Hogan have to come out and take the title?
Because Vince wanted to put Hogan over big one last time. That's why.
Well,
But he was leaving to
He
WCW.
was trying to get everyone to forget the
At
steroids.
this time, he wasn't leaving.
the
Vince
story
didn't know that Savage was leaving.
is he was
He leaves 3
signed-
months later.
Yeah,
but Vince didn't know that was coming.
So the storyline is he was very short term, and Vince wanted him just to carry the title through a European tour. He just thought that would be good for sales and merch.
And to
And if I'm
forget
not
the steroids.
mistaken, that European tour you spoke of was actually shit. They barely had anybody in the arenas for those shows.
And
Oh.
maybe that's why maybe it was booked low already, and this was the
This
last.
is my son John.
What's up, John? So
John.
maybe that was like a last ditch effort because it's pretty quick after this, if I remember right. So maybe that's like last ditch effort by Vince to try
I think
to.
that's my pizza.
To your point, Magic, that might have been a last
Oh.
effort of Vince trying to keep Hogan too. You never know, right?
Yeah,
But the
that's
belt
true.
will make people say,
He was
you
like,
know.
maybe if I give him the title, he won't leave.
right. And Macho Man promised Vince he wasn't leaving, so that blindsided Vince more than Hogan. So when Macho left, Vince was very surprised. That's why they feuded for a long time.
Can I intercede for just a moment?
No.
This is the third thing that I will say is the thing that I don't like about this Mania, and it's not Yoko.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Hogan finish because
Right.
I think that at this time, we had just gone through the rock and wrestling era, Hulk Hogan on top for fucking 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the WWF to go with a dominant heel champion was a change that was vastly needed.
I agree.
And Yoko, much like Andre, was a good choice. Not Andre, not late Andre. Not Andre. I'm I'm just beat the fuck up.
You want the peanut?
He was a great choice for a long-term, large monster heel champion. So I agree with everything that happens here until
Until Hogan.
until he unseats Yoko a few seconds later, because
Right.
you immediately killed whatever momentum you would have had
I can
And
agree with
Vince,
that.
in that
and
year-long
Vince loves
title.
to do that.
But at the same
Vince loves to
token,
do
Nate,
that.
I agree with you on that. But at the same token, the cameraman fireball finish with Hogan at King of the Ring was genius heel. That was great.
It was.
So
It was, but they could have done that here,
redeemed
too.
themselves at King of the Ring, but that should have never had to take place. I think Vince
Right.
kind of knew Hogan was out the door now at this point. His last ditch
Mhm.
effort failed. Hogan was going no matter what. So he redeemed himself with the fireball incident and put the belt back on Yoko. But, I mean,
And
I
I
don't
know-
dislike Yoko, but
I
So-
know,
so-
but
What I think happened, some of
I
it,
think
and
that-
I do
Oh,
agree
go ahead,
with
Mitch.
Gold. I think it was probably a little bit of a let me save, not necessarily that Vince even wanted Hogan to be the man, but he didn't want Hogan in WCW. I think that's the deal. So I think it was that. And then I also think, if y'all remember, so Vince was always a face carries the company. He's the only one that a face champion carried. And he'd had many successful years with Hogan. He puts it on Brett, and we all know ticket sales, everything goes immediately takes a dive, and Brett's
Right.
not able to. So I think he's like, well, I need a face, and I need Brett's not doing it. So I think he was still stuck in that it has to be a face to carry the company.
Yeah, but in the same regard, Vince McMahon has done that dozens of times before. Look at a few years back. CM Punk beats Cena for the title. The very next, and CM Punk leaves. The very next week, they have a world title tournament, which Rey Mysterio wins. But then later on in the show, John Cena beats Rey Mysterio for the title. And oh, look who's back after only one week of not being here, CM Punk.
I'm sorry, but
fattest
that ending with
sharpshooter
Punk
ever.
was genius.
No, that should have never. Punk should have went to 3 or 4 different indie shows with that belt, with the WWE camera, defended that title, and then came back to them having
Did
a
you see the
paper
pop that
champion.
he got when they came out with the
Cocaine to the face.
and Cena had no idea who the fuck it was?
Yeah, but
I would have liked to see him go to indie shows, but I don't. I think they screwed the pooch with the tournament. And everything that screwed the pooch. They should have
They did.
handed Cena the belt and had no tournament. And
Right.
went, all right, Cena, you get the belt back.
right,
We're going to screw Punk, whatever. We're going to give you this belt. And then Punk shows
Right.
up later that night. That would have
So
been
I do-
better.
I hate to
Then
bust
that's-
in, but I hate this finish. Salt to your eye does not make you stay down for a count.
Oh, I thought it was cocaine.
It was
Luckily-
chloroform in the
now-
salt form.
Luckily, Hulkster comes to save the day.
Teabags
Now-
Brett. He's
100%
teabagging.
good man.
Now, one more thing: the
Come on, you
buckle
big
that had no
Billy.
pad on it, that buckle that had no pad on it, did as much damage as Lex Luger's elbow probably did to Mr. Perfect earlier in the night.
I mean, how about the Razor roll up winning over Bob Backlund? I mean, this whole fucking show is just bullshit endings. That's why WrestleMania 9 is shit.
Which is what today's product is too. It's roll-ups and shit endings.
And WrestleMania 9 is better than today's product. So
Ooh, that's dangerous.
I agree.
Yellow belly.
I actually would
Yellow
rather
belly.
watch.
Come on, Hogan.
right now.
Yellow belly, come on. And I
You'd
love
rather
how
watch
Brett's just like,
WCW
do it.
what?
Go to the ring,
Spit on
go.
you.
Hogan's
He's
like,
actually
"Are you
like,
sure,
fuck
brother?
you.
Are you sure?
Fuck
Go,
I
go.
love
Come
The
on,
magic-
you half-breed.
Right.
Get in the
right.
ring,
Bret Hart-
half-breed.
Right.
Like,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Bret
Come
Hart's
on, you
eyes are
half-breed.
burning. Bret Hart's eyes are burning. He's pissed he lost the title. No, you go get it, Hulk Hogan. Go. You saved it.
Oh,
Really?
the magic snap in, like,
Really?
yes, Hogan, yes.
Even
love
there,
Bret
Hogan had to
still.
shit on him.
I love Brett
Even there, Hogan had to shit on him. He had to straddle his head while he was checking
It's
on him.
like WrestleMania 6 when Warrior won, Hogan's in the ring, like, holding his arm up. And then when Macho Man won, Hogan's in the ring holding Macho Man's
Oh,
arm
some
up.
more cocaine.
That's the
Some more
ring, Hogan.
cocaine.
Oh,
Hulk,
Fuji's nut powder.
Some
Ooh,
nose
Hulk
candy,
Hogan.
brother.
You know what it would have been
Hulk Hogan.
better? You know what it would have been better? Hogan gets in the ring. Yoko kicks him in the face, sits on him, and pins him for the 3 count. Imagine
Yes.
if that happened.
Yes.
Yoko would be
I
the
would rather see
ultimate.
that.
I would have preferred a few broken
How
ribs.
good
but-
Yoko.
The
Yoko
only-
would go.
The only
Brett and Hogan in one night. How's
the
that?
only reason
Right.
the only reason that I would give this a passing grade as a finish is at the moment, if you look at the crowd, they were losing their shit.
Right. But they weren't.
Well,
They right here, they're losing their shit.
some of them are losing their shit. They're showing the front
Not
row.
for
How about
Hogan.
and that's
Not for
magic in the
Hogan.
front row. How about us in the back row? Like, man, what a fucking terrible pay-per-view this was.
This
But
would
you
have
weren't
been
there.
Guys,
I mean,
okay,
I'm
hold
just saying,
on.
in this moment,
Yes, I agree with you very much. Y'all are thinking in today as the smart mark theory. Remember, back
but
then,
in '93, look at these people. They're losing their shit.
Oh, I was
Sure.
a kid.
Wait a minute.
I loved
Hold
it
on.
probably.
Hold on.
You're right.
Hold on. Bell ring. Hogan's in the ring. Mr. Fuji goes to throw salt. Shouldn't that have been an automatic disqualification?
you forget ref's discretion.
Oh,
Yeah, we saw it earlier.
So earlier he couldn't win the tag team titles because the referee decided to throw a DQ. But here, yeah, right.
Ref's
get in your tub,
discretion.
buddy.
You know, man, just gonna defend anything Hogan. Come on, Archie.
This would have been the perfect time for Savage to turn heel. He could have
Right.
come up behind
Get
him
in the
with a
ring.
chair and just absolutely took
Yeah,
him
right.
off.
Boom, and then Yoko pins him, and boom. You're right, Rocky. That'd have been great too.
No. Hogan's celebrating.
Look,
Hogan's
the
celebrating.
fucking shitbirds are dancing. They're all happy. It's
And
okay.
then he gets the mic and goes, "I see you had lust in your eyes for Livingston." And he hits-
No.
See,
Rematch.
there's the we didn't know Hogan was gonna win fireworks going on.
Right.
We
Quick,
just
throw something
fucking
together.
happened to
Throw
have
something together.
these.
Sean wasn't ready at that time, Wesley. Sean versus Brett wasn't ready yet. Sean wasn't ready
All
for the main event yet.
I gotta
Hogan's
cancel because
celebrating.
if I don't cancel this, fucking WrestleMania 10 is gonna come on.
Rocky,
All right, there we go.
check this out. Rocky, check this out. Hogan's celebrating. Savage gets in the ring with a chair, beats the shit out of Hogan, and then looks at the camera and writes WCW in the air and walks out. And he goes to WCW first.
That wasn't a bad show.
Sure,
That's
we could
terrible.
do that. That would have been good.
You mean our show wasn't bad?
Right. Our show was great. But that's because Aaron was on it.
Yeah.
That's because
Well, yeah,
And-
until
and if there
Aaron
were
made it
people
about
watching Nate, it probably would have been even more exciting.
until Aaron made it all about.
I'm
you know,
sorry that I'm trying to build
Oreos
our
and stuff.
YouTube. But
So
anyway,
honestly, guys, out of all of that, I really Backlund and Razor's kind of weak, and obviously Giant Gonzalez and Undertaker's pretty weak. Rest isn't that bad. Not like
not.
old
So-
makes it sound.
WrestleMania 9 is cool.
Look,
So
I'm
the
gonna say
ultimate-
this again in full transparency.
hold
I didn't
on,
say
Gold.
this is the worst pay-per-view. I said it's the second worst WrestleMania.
Now,
You know-
hold on, Gold. Just for a second, everybody. The whole impetus for this episode was that David and I disagree on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to run down real quick. Sean and Tatanka, good match.
yes.
Good match. I agree.
Steiners and Head Shrinkers, good match.
Fantastic match.
Only two good matches.
Doink and Crush,
Terrible.
effective because it did its job.
It told the story.
It was the shit heel chasing or being chased by the large babyface.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Razor and Backlund? Is that next?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Terrible ending. Nobody knew who Backlund was.
way
Fair.
short
Okay.
thrown
Decent.
together.
I will attest to that, thrown together, like Rocky said. However, let's watch the last 8 WrestleManias and see how many thrown together matches we've had on
A bunch.
A bunch.
Probably the whole-
I agree
the
to
whole
that.
card
This
on
was-
some of them.
this was terrible.
And it did its job in getting Razor over.
Getting Razor over would have been him hitting his finisher and destroying Backlund.
And I absolutely agree. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just making my fucking case here.
Roll up was a shitty ending.
No matter
So-
what you make your
It
case,
made
for, you're
Razor
not
look
gonna
weak.
agree.
It made him look like he barely beat Backlund with a fucking roll up.
So what was our next match?
Perfect versus Luger.
Okay, we
Decent
established
Luger.
that was a decent match. I'm going with
Perfect
Majewski's
made it decent.
opinion on that.
Perfect made it decent. Luger's terrible.
I agree.
And then we had Taker and Gonzalez, which was the shits.
I'd use the bathroom during that match.
I
still
don't
have
think
a
anyone
I think I
anyone will
actually-
argue that.
I think I actually did use the bathroom during that match.
I think you were gone. You're right.
I bet you wiped your ass, looked down at the toilet paper, and it looked like the same design on that onesie.
Well, no, I wiped
I
my
like the
ass.
fact that I put over that it's a onesie.
I wiped my ass.
WrestleMania 11 is worse than this.
Oh wait, you skipped Hogan and Booty Beef versus IRS and MDM.
Yeah, the match was good.
For obvious
The
reasons.
match was good. The finish was crap.
Terrible.
I skipped. Also, Rocky, to your point, I did actually look at the toilet paper and say, "Wow, what a giant Gonzalez."
Booyah!
And then after that, we had
The man died.
yeah. So we're all good.
Yoko versus fucking Brett.
So did about half the other ones.
Yoko and Brett again. I think they had a decent match, but I really do hate that shit finish.
Shit
So
on a shingle.
yes,
I
will
was
agree with
literally
that.
literally
There was
cussing
two good matches and
when
one
Hogan
decent
climbed in the
match.
ring.
It was
When
trash.
Hogan climbed in the ring and they were going to put the title on the line, I was cussing like a sailor. I thought my dad was going to throw me out of the house. It was so bad.
I mean, as a little kid, I still liked Hogan. Don't get me wrong, and I was probably in '93, like, "Yay, Hogan!" You know, because I was I'm the one that wrote to Hogan when he was in the hospital and did all that cool shit.
I
But-
stopped rooting for Hogan
I think I was 10.
right before WrestleMania 5 because I
I
was
think I might have.
savage,
If you were
baby.
an adult or a teenager, an older teenager, Hogan was stale to you, and he was stale when he went to WCW. That's why they put him in the NWO.
Oh, I hated him in WCW until he joined the NWO.
Stale. And from WrestleMania 8 on, Hogan was fucking stale.
I used to boo him whenever he came out in WCW, like on Nitro and stuff, and he was still in the yellow and
Oh
And
yeah,
Red.
and then when they brought him back in 2000 as Red and Yellow again, I'm like,
And I was complete opposite. I loved him. Was super excited. I actually switched ships. I was a WWF loyal fan. Hogan went and I followed. And I believe lots of people did.
The greatest day in Hogan's history was Bash at the Beach. I did not see that coming. I
oh,
thought,
my
what a great play. What a perfect opportunity to make him a heel. They couldn't have done that again. I mean, it was
imagine if
absolute
Sting said
perfection.
yes.
Absolute
Imagine if
perfection.
Sting said yes. That would have never happened. They went to Sting first, and they were going to have him turn, and he said
wouldn't have-
no.
it wouldn't
I
have been
don't
the
wanna
same.
go heel.
It wouldn't have been the same.
Well, they
Like-
offered it him first, and he said no. That's why they went with Hogan.
Because everybody hated Hogan. Not everybody, but most people
Yeah.
hated Hogan already.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
whenever he dropped
Wait.
that leg, it just put him
Wait.
over the top, man.
All right, like when
So,
Hogan
so
turned,
remember though, everyone hated him, but NWO, I don't know about push him over the top. Everyone loved him.
let's go with this. I'll say this about when Hogan turned, okay? And I'll put this as like me and Nate being brothers, okay?
brother.
Nate and I
Brother.
watched everything together, okay?
Mhm.
He was my
Even
big
porn?
brother. We watched all the wrestling shit together, okay?
Oh, he told
Well-
me you were older.
Nate's older. But just listen to what I'm saying. I just listen. We watch all the shit together, okay? All the time. Nate and I just watching wrestling together. And then Nate got to the age where he had to get a fucking job. All right.
You
So
bastard,
Nate now
Nate.
has to work.
Mhm.
And
How could you?
yeah, I felt betrayed.
That's your
Like,
little
really?
brother.
Yeah. It's like I'm out here
Man
by
has a
myself
family.
now. This
That man
guy's
has
like
a family.
yeah, it's like I didn't understand it at the time, but I'm like, this guy's got to get money so he can get a car because now he wants to get laid. But I didn't understand that in my little fucking mind, you know? Well, I'm at my grandma's house because Nate and I used to go to my grandma's house for 2 weeks every summer. Well, now Nate's not going to go to grandma's house because he's making money, he's getting laid, and I'm just sitting here by myself.
So first he dissed his little brother, then his grandmother. What kind of man are you, Nate?
Well,
Nate,
then I get
Nate?
a phone call. And Nate's like, "Holy shit, Hulk Hogan just turned." And I'm like, "What?"
You're
Nate
lying.
Aaron was
watched.
and
Nate
and
watched the Hulk Hogan turn without
without
me.
you, right?
I'll never
So
look
I'm
at
on
you the
the other
same,
line,
Nate
like,
Maxon.
What?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
So,
So
the gist of the
Nate-
story here is. So
Nate
gist of the
turned
story
heel.
here is. Archie's got it.
Nate turned heel the same time Hogan did.
Yeah,
You were Hollywood Nate Maxon.
I was more upset about the fact that Nate watched Hogan turn heel without me
you.
than the fact that Hulk Hogan turned heel.
Did you call him?
All right, guys.
I'm looking at this trash can, brother, and this represents you right now, Aaron.
So what do y'all think? So supposedly Hogan went to Vince and he wanted to be Triple H, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, right after the Warrior fight. He wanted to go back down, and instead of celebrate, he was going to turn on him after the match is over and he loses the title.
And Vince wouldn't let him?
Vince said no. Vince says, I need you to pose.
I don't think so. I don't think he wanted to be a heel.
That would have been. Hey, I would have enjoyed that.
Let me tell you,
too.
Hogan wanted to be a heel his whole career.
No,
I think he's a great heel.
Yeah, watch all his matches. As a face, he's one of the most heel guys around.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I said.
Absolutely.
And he even drug that into Rocky 3. I even enjoyed him as Thunder Lips.
I love Thunder Lips. I'm the ultimate male.
And he's the ultimate meatball.
I mean, yeah, I could see that even in his Suburban Commando character, he was kind of like this arrogant asshole. So I get it. Yeah.
What? Really?
I never seen that movie.
Suburban
goodness.
Commando was not a heel.
Did you see the parts when he like drinks and he's like, "You're not fucking with me. This is antifreeze." You know, he acted heelish. He totally did.
I guess.
Like I'm this badass. I can beat the fuck out of everybody.
Look,
and then,
I want to. All right, listen. No, I want to. The next episode of the Recant Wrestle podcast is going to be an interview with Hollywood Nate Maxon, and we're going to get to the bottom of this heel turn.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
I
Are
just-
You
you
left me alone, man. I was just out there. By
I heard
myself.
this. Hey, Aaron, I also heard a rumor about that same day that he told you that Hulk turned. He actually threw your grandmother down in the yard and dropped a leg bomb on her.
And
I
then
thought you were going to
like
say
Grandma.
fucking half-breed.
Yeah.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
oh my goodness.
it all makes
The
sense.
neighbor half breed watched him do
His
it.
grandmother rolled out of the way and he broke his leg.
It all- Guys, it all makes sense now.
It is.
NWO,
It's all coming together.
Nate World Order.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yep.
Like all this shit's just happening.
All the pieces.
It's all gonna.
All the pieces have lined up.
Sorry, but I have to
Is there
do
a
it.
sign? Hold on. Aaron said Quentin Tarantino movie. Is there a sign in my front yard that says half breed storage?
Oh God!
Hey Nate, I have to do this now that you're like the heel now. No wonder you sabotaged our show tonight and put us just on YouTube.
You know, Nate.
Hey, I know how good the coffee is.
You know, Nate, I'm going to say something. Rocky said that word half breed earlier, and it was bad. But then you quoting the line from Pulp Fiction, and I know what the real line is, made it even worse.
Hey, he's
Wow.
taking it to another level.
It's like Nate is the cable TBS version of what Rocky said.
Right.
Like Nate's looking at the plane, he's like, "Yippee ki yay, melon farmer."
I can just imagine Nate's excited on the phone. Aaron's like, "You motherfucker." He's like, "Yeah, Hogan just turned," and Aaron's like, "You motherfucker." What? Hogan turning bad is good. No. You watched it without me, you asshole.
You watched it without me? Well,
What
yeah,
the
my
hell
girlfriend was
matters
over.
here?
Oh, I'm throwing up the NWO signs right now. Fuck you.
Gold, you watched it alone without me? No, my girlfriend was over. You have a girlfriend?
Oh, my new brother's here. He's the brother of my girlfriend.
Why do I picture them as Corey and Eric Matthews, though? That was that's what I'm picturing them as.
Well, Grandma's here too. The whole family. They didn't invite you.
You know who we are, but you don't know why we're here. So this is one of those shows that it's hard to close because we're all gas bagging. But
I got 3 of these in me.
Is this episode 96 or 97?
You're all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
Actually, Archie. This is going to be episode 12 of the Asylum Wrestling podcast.
Okay.
And episode 97 of the We Can't Wrestle.
Of We Can't Wrestle. So episode 97 of the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
And the number 1 episode of Rocky's a Redneck.
And the name of this episode needs to be Nate World Order.
Hey Rocky,
sure.
after the show's over, we need to negotiate a new deal here for a podcast. So that being said,
no, Nate, I want the name to be Nate Goes Full Heel. Episode 96, Nate Goes Full Heel.
Nick Francis can blow it out his ass.
Oh God,
I'm a handsome motherfucker. Nick Francis,
He deserved that one.
you stupid
Nate,
son of a bitch.
Nate's gonna be listening.
Aaron,
huh?
Shut your face, because I just want a belt from Nick Francis earlier, and I want to be on his good side.
Nate is gonna.
You'll get it in 3 months, bro. You'll be fine.
Nick's gonna be listening to this on the way home from work.
Well, I'm just saying, Nick Francis said, never seen a bunch of uglies. And Rocky, Rocky.
Oh, he did.
All
Nick
right.
left a comment.
I got
Nick wasn't here earlier for Rocky's comment.
No. Nick left a comment. It says, "Never seen such a bunch of uglies." And Rocky. Wow, Nick.
That means this guy. That means this guy. That guy. This guy here. That guy up there.
Guys, we look kind
I'm
of.
getting a
except
beer
for Magic.
before I do my sign off.
No, don't leave yet. Except for Magic not being there, we look like the Brady Bunch, and that makes Rocky Alice.
Hey, that's true.
Which one am I again? I can't remember the order now.
I make a hell of a bunch cake.
I think you'd be the mother. I think you're Carol Brady.
All right, I'm bangable then. Excellent.
Wait a minute.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Hold on.
Gold goes right there. I love it.
Me and Aaron are at the bottom, so that makes Aaron Bobby and me Cindy. Shit, I didn't think this through.
Man, Cindy, you need to lay off the meth. Woo!
The best thing is you realize since you called Gold Carol, he's gonna look at himself in the mirror and be like, "I'd do me."
I do that already. It didn't take long for that.
I'm just saying, this Nick Francis guy, yeah, he's got the belt, whatever.
Them be fighting words.
Who's that? Is that Blevs?
I don't know.
I think so.
We got Wrestle podcast stream.
See, I don't like that Facebook user crap. I want to know who I'm talking shit
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Put your name out there, bitch.
The oddities, I take that as a compliment. I'm Golga. That's for sure.
No, you're Goldga.
Gold. Or I'm the Jekyll. I'll take that.
No, you can't be. That would be Aaron.
That's true.
Why am I the Jackal?
Because he was devious.
You're right. That's fine.
Notice how.
I don't know why that worked so well.
He didn't argue. He's like,
All
right.
yeah, whatever.
I'm devious.
So see, now it's not.
Well, fellas, it's
not
been a
Nate.
pleasure hanging out with you tonight.
Yes, Rocky, thank you for joining us. We
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
Been fun.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I could be the heel of the bunch.
Until late in the show where I turned heel and then Aaron became a fucking jackal.
No, I'm glad somebody took the fucking heat off me This guy was like, "Oh, fucking half breeds and goddamn muckmucks, all this other shit." I'm like, "Good deal."
I'm glad I'm in the all that shit. So I'm not like.
Mangina's everywhere.
And then Archie's like, "You just missed the best part of the show." I'm like, "What? What happened?"
What happened?
It's gonna be
It wasn't
hard, It's
me.
gonna be a hard choice to pick a name for this show, but
Everybody goes heel. That's the perfect name.
Someone's been
Well-
playing your game system all day, Rocky.
I think
Yeah.
Mangina's everywhere should be the
Mangina's everywhere.
Mangina's everywhere.
Mangina World Order.
And guys,
There
once
you go.
the WrestleMania stops scrolling, we go straight to shit.
Exactly
we
what
think-
happened.
We thanked Rocky for being here. Thank you, John Majewski, for being here in some capacity. I
Mhm.
forgot he's in the witness protection program and can't show us his face.
My name is John, and I am here.
Good to
So,
see you,
like-
John, or not.
Yeah,
Good to not
or
see
not.
you, John.
You could have just put it on the microwave. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been hysterical.
Let's do like a playoff like the Eric Clapton song, Willie and the Mangina.
Beautiful.
We're
So
gonna
you guys
sign off now.
take care, and I will be seeing you around.
Have a good
Thank
night,
you,
Rocky.
Rocky.
Yes.
All right,
thank
brother.
you,
Good
everyone.
night, everybody.
What a great
Thank
night.
you, guys,
Any
and-
night we get to see Hulk Hogan
Magic.
take home a championship.
Magic.
It's just,
I want Magic to do our sign off tonight.
guys, thank you all once again for listening to us on the We Can't Wrestle podcast and the Asylum Wrestling podcast. Thank you to all these great guys who are on the board today. You know we love you. All the listeners out there, all our members, you know we listen to or we love y'all as well. WrestleMania 9, what a great event for some good guys to all get together. We give each other shit in hell the whole time, but we really love each other. They're a bunch of good dudes, except for the Nate World Order. The rest of us are all good dudes. Obviously, just a joke. But like I said, guys, we love you. Thank y'all for listening. And as always, y'all have a great day.
That's a base card.
Goodbye, shitbirds.
That's a-
I am